lightning and the thunder.
But after all these years, I'm still scared of thunder.
It's time for Middays with Thunder with Mitch Nellis, broadcasting live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Good midday and welcome in to Middays with Thunder with me, Mitch Thunder Nellis, here on 1250 AM, 105.7 FM The Fan. And I'm joined in studio by the headbanging. You can see him on the YouTube channel at The Fan Milwaukee. Drew Wagner. Good midday, Drew.
I'm glad today was a hair wash morning.
We're all glad for that because with all that hair flying all over the place, the grease and oil that would have smacked us all in the face if you hadn't washed would have been tremendous.
Oh, baby, you don't know the quality of my product.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I don't want to get hit by product either.
Yeah, I know. I used my clarifying shampoo and conditioner today because
God, I already lost interest.
my glorious locks. I know you're jealous.
I'm jealous. I got the best head of hair like in the state of Wisconsin.
You know, I've got no money.
Just because
no
you don't
wife,
have the
no
Jew fro,
kids.
just because you don't have the Jew fro doesn't mean like
You don't even have a fro.
I can. I just don't. It's not that long right now. It grows. I mean, it's not as tight as it used to be because I'm old.
You guys
but
get all the cool stuff.
We get some cool stuff. He's Drew Wagner. You know him from ForbesSports.com. You know him from covering all of our teams for the past 743 years, like he did. I know him from when we were both skinny. Dude, Tommy, you don't know how skinny Drew was. Like, I've always never been skinny. Drew was like
I was
a light pole.
Someone just sent me last weekend pictures from an event, and 25 years ago we did this time capsule, and I was in charge of it.
Why wasn't I invited to this event?
It was a folk dancing event.
Okay, that'll tell you why.
And there were pictures of me and at the time she was my girlfriend. Now she's one of my very best friends in the world.
Nice.
Putting this thing in there, and someone sent me the picture. I look, it's like, who the hell is that? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Toothpick thin.
Yep.
Homemade bleach blonde highlights.
Yep.
The puka shell necklace.
I had the bleach blonde highlights as well, but I had them because I dyed my hair green and purple for the Milwaukee Bucks. So they bleached my hair first, and then they dyed it green and purple, so that it really popped for the playoffs back in 2000 and 2001.
And you know what? Every time I see someone wearing the retro or the green and purple, like literally the first thought is Mitch and the big flag.
Yes. I loved the big flag.
Yes.
I love that I got to wave the big flag, that it was not Bango, that it was me during that playoff run, and I was in charge of the big flag. This is Middays with Thunder here on The Fan. Drew, I don't really want you to answer this question, but I have to ask you this question. In a sporting event, have you ever purposefully spit on someone, and was it I mean, I don't know if there are some people who say it's never deserved. You should never do that. But if you were spit on first, which you could make an argument happened last night, or at least spit at, are you a spitter, Drew?
I mean, I spit on Rosiak's dome every time I walk past.
But
to go to
that's
the
just to
bathroom.
shine it up real nice. Like that's part of the tradition.
Yeah, I saw that this morning, and I'm like, man, the Seinfeld references write themselves, don't they?
They really do.
There's a second spitter.
There was a second spitter. Actually, there was a first spitter. And I think it's really interesting watching Jalen. Tommy, is that right? Jalen Carter, not Javon Carter. I just want to say Javon Carter because, of course, backup point guard for the Bucks and Bulls. Jalen Carter, we all saw it after the opening kickoff. He spits on Dak Prescott last night to open Thursday Night Football, gets ejected 6 seconds into the game. And then when they show all the replays, Dak definitely spit at him. Now, he had two offensive linemen in front of him, and the spit never got to Carter. And there is a difference between spitting on someone and spitting at someone, or spitting in someone's general direction. But I still feel like, I don't know, like I feel like Dak kind of tried to spit on him and just missed. And so he gets to stay in the game because he missed, but Carter gets kicked out because he got him. I think there should be a huge fine coming, not just for Carter, but for Dak as well.
Yeah, I think you're going to be getting some letters from the commissioner.
I hope so. I hope so because
Mac's going to walk in the locker
I believe
room.
in fairness.
Yeah.
Like spitting's disgusting.
Yes, it's
So
gross.
don't do that.
We were talking about this recently about travel and like what would be more disgusting? Someone spitting, someone clipping their nails, or someone breaking wind?
Well, but your second one, I mean, I was going to say feet right away because like if I'm on a plane, not even clipping nails, but like, and I might be in the minority here. I actually don't hate if somebody takes off their shoes. If they have socks on, clean socks, and they're keeping to their own area.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem if somebody, I mean, listen, my daughters take their socks off on planes because they're 12 and 15 and it's more comfortable to have socks on than to have your sneakers on or whatever. But A, I don't want your feet in my area. And B, I absolutely don't want your bare feet in my area. So even before we get to the clipping toenails, which is 1,000% no in public.
I meant just fingernails, but if you're clipping your toenails in public, wow.
Dude, bite your fingernails. What are we doing here? It's 2025. Who's clipping for? Go get a manicure.
Which I do once a month.
Or bite your own nails. No one needs to clip their fingernails.
Should we go get petties after this?
I'm in.
Tommy?
Totally get a petty. Tommy needs one. Yeah, Tommy's working.
Oh, that'd be great.
Tommy needs one.
We need to.
Can we do the lead-off show from the Manny Petty place?
Mason should come up, take us on a spa day.
Oh, he should. Take us up to Kohler?
Ooh.
I think we're on to something.
Yeah, we're on to it.
414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. So last night, the NFL opens, and the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Dallas Cowboys 24-20 in just a truly awkward, weird game. It was 24-20. It was on pace to get to 70 points total. There's a lightning delay for like an hour, 45 minutes, an hour. They come back. No one scores again in the last 20 minutes of the game. I don't know what to think of this game. I don't know how to break this game down. I don't know what it means for the two teams. I guess Dallas can come out of this thinking like, hey, maybe we don't suck. And Philly can come out of this thinking like, hey, we got work to do to be the best team again. But honestly, like, I think because of the lightning delay, this game was so askew that I don't even know how to break it down.
I was pretty ticked. I got home from the ballpark. Stopped to grab some food on the way home. So I got in like 8 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock. And right as I turned on the TV, maybe it was later, they show them huddling in the center of the field. I'm like, oh, we're going to go to a delay. And I'm like,
oh, that was later then. Because it was like 10 minutes. It was like 5 minutes left in the third quarter.
So I'm like, all right,
or
fine.
44, whatever.
Eat my food, sit down.
Right, yeah.
Want to watch some football for the first time in forever.
Nope.
And then, and I missed it.
Well, I fell asleep on purpose. I went to bed. Like I wasn't, if there's a lightning delay, I have no patience for those shenanigans. Listen, I coach youth sports. And if there's lightning on the field with 12-year-olds, get them off the field. Yeah, totally fine with that. And I don't want 80,000 people. Well, I mean, they're Philadelphians, so maybe a few of them. But I don't really want Philadelphians hit by lightning. I don't really want the Eagles. But I also think like it's 2025. We have the technology for so many things on Earth. Aren't there like dampers or metal poles or metal netting or something? I
wonder that all the time.
That they can set up around our stadiums and our ballparks that absorb any lightning in the area.
Right.
Kind of like a Black Panther Wakanda sort of thing. But no, it doesn't have to be like, obviously I know that doesn't exist, but there's got to be some technology that does exist.
I would think that like even if you don't put a roof on it, if you have like metal arches that span the field, couldn't that be sent into a ground that absorbs it? And I'm thinking like a contractor now. So
yeah, you are. But well, it's because you are.
Wait a minute. We could sketch this up.
If we
sell
come
the
up
technology.
with this, yes. Is this it? Is this we're finally gonna strike it rich?
We could afford what Sparky charges us to come on the air.
Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing. We could afford to go to Mason Crosby's birthday party Saturday night.
I think we should just show up.
Oh my God, how amazing would that be?
I can fit you all in the truck. We can roll.
Nice. 414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. It is energizing that football is back. Like it is exciting. I know college football started last weekend and there were 3 top 10 matchups and that was fun and that was fine. But I don't think it's the same. I don't think it's the same as the NFL being back.
No.
Like the NFL being back is a jolt of energy, and it's not the jolt of energy we necessarily need here in southeastern Wisconsin because we've been blessed by baseball this summer, but it is a jolt of energy nonetheless. Now the question is, how do you balance? How do you balance that jolt of energy that we get for the NFL and for the Packers specifically with continuing the day-to-day grind of following the best team in Major League Baseball?
And that's the thing that we always wonder, because we always joke in the press box, like on Packer Sundays, no matter how good the Brewers have been, there's more people in the concourse watching on TV. And I was wondering that because I saw earlier this week, there was a story out, or a press release, excuse me, about the Brewers ratings being up significantly over last year. And then I tweeted out this morning, they had record viewership on Monday. I'm wondering what's going to happen to that, if it's going to be affected, or if it will be, this is so special that it might override it. Now, I haven't looked at the Packers schedule. I don't know if they actually go head to head, because the Packers play a lot of games outside of that noon window.
Right. That's a good question.
But yeah, I'm going to be very curious to see what the ballpark is like on Sundays and what the viewership numbers are on Sundays once the Packers get going, because we've seen this before where the Brewers are playing important games at the start of Packers season, but we've never seen anything like this. And if this team really does make a run deep into the postseason and even go to the World Series, that's a lot of Sundays.
Yes.
How will that compare with the Brewers in the playoffs, a deep run and Packer games?
Well, we know this Sunday it's not a conflict. We know Packers week 2, it's not a conflict. The Packers play Thursday night. The Brewers are off Thursday. So that is an off day. But I assume Sunday the 18th, Sunday the 21st, the Brewers, let's see, Milwaukee at St. Louis, which is a 1:15 game, will be against the noon Packers-Browns game. So
although
that's really
we can also safely assume that there are a lot of sickos around, like myself, that have multiple televisions for specifically this reason.
Right. Well, and I don't even think it's sick anymore, Drew. Like, I think it's become commonplace in today's society, whether you have 2 screens set up or whether, like me, you literally just have one game on your TV and the other game. I mean, I have the FanDuel app. I have the Spectrum app. I have Fox and CBS, like whatever app I need to watch whatever game I have on my phone. I have on my daughter's tablet, so I can watch, I can double screen whether I actually have 2 TVs set up.
This sounds like a good poll question for the maestro, Tommy Wirtz, to pop out there on Twitter. What are you going to watch when there's a conflict? Packers, Brewers, both?
Well, but I think it's more layered, so we have to figure out the nuances. So week 3, there's a conflict. That's going to be different,
right? Than just
playoffs.
The standard game. Yeah.
Well, it's different than a standard game, but it's also different than playoffs.
Right.
When we get into October, there might be more people who keep their eyes on the Brewers on their main TV and Packers on the secondary TV, versus whatever it is on September 21st, where hopefully it's a not as meaningful a game for the Milwaukee Brewers as we hope it is, but it's also Packers Browns, which hopefully is not as meaningful a game. Now there's only 17 games, so they're all meaningful. But I think that is a good question. Like in general, in the ecosphere of sport, what is on your main TV? Is it always Packers? Is it always Brewers? Or does it depend on the importance of the game?
I was thinking about this the other day, and this is not meant to be back in my day, Sonny, but
we're, you know what? We're old now.
Right. We are.
I do the show with Tommy, who's 25 and Charlie's 23. And it's like,
I take for granted that I can watch 17 things at once. Like I've got the MLB TV app on my tablet. I've got the 4 screen up on that. I'm watching 2 college football games on my main TV and checking other scores on my phone. And growing up, like the example that I always use is the NCAA tournament.
Growing up.
And
unbelievable.
Like one of the original dreams I had in this business was I wanted to be Gumbel sitting in the studio on the first day of the NCAA tournament. Like, we're sending you to this game. Right. We're sending you to that game. And like you were the traffic cop because we only got one game on one channel. That was it.
Yep. Absolutely.
And now you can watch every single game being played. Same thing in the Olympics. You got your 4-hour window from 7 o'clock to 11. Jim McKay, another hero growing up.
Yep.
And you got snippets of everything. Now you can watch underwater polo horse riding.
Yes. Those poor
in its entirety.
Those poor horses, man.
They got snorkels.
They do, but that's still a lot of work. He's Drew Wagner. I'm Mitch Nellis, aka Thunder. This is Middays of Thunder here on the Fan, 1250 AM, 105.7 FM. The Fan. free on the Odyssey app. AUDACY, AUDACY. Dylan Graff from BadgerNote.com is going to join us at 11:40 to preview some Badger Middle Tennessee State. John Perotto, a Forbes sports writer for the Pittsburgh Pirates, is going to join us around 12:40 to preview a series where, you'd say the Brewers are happy to not face Paul Skeens, but the way they've hit him, maybe they wanted to face Paul Skeens, not the way he pitched last night.
Yeah,
he
pitched last night against the Dodgers.
He pitched very well, didn't he?
I have a hot take about Paul Skeens.
Ooh,
he is not a belly itcher.
He's not a belly itcher. He is a pitcher.
Indeed.
Yes, and Pittsburgh is wasting him to what nth degree right now?
The nth degree.
Yeah, the nth degree. All sorts of, we got Brewers talk coming on. Matt LaFleur is at the podium, so we're going to talk about Matt LaFleur as well coming up next. Any news and notes? I know he did say that he expects all 53 to practice again today, as they did yesterday.
That sounds encouraging.
There was some limited yesterday, but they were all out there with helmets and pads. He expects them all out there with helmets and pads again today. He did say that Micah would be limited, but really that he's just a freak. That's what he said. I saw it. Matt Schneidman tweeted it earlier, so I assume it's true. I'm
starting to come around. I have a lot of lady friends that have informed me that Matt LaFleur is handsome, and I watched the video last night.
That's what they say.
He's quite dapper. He's
dapper. He's a little spray tan for me.
Yeah, a little bit.
Little bit.
Tom Creaney. Tom Creaney.
Tom Crean was the king of the spray tan.
Yeah.
Before, he's Drew Wagner. I'm Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. Tommy Wirtz is in the house as well. 414-677-1250 is how you get in touch with us. Find us on all the socials at The Fan Milwaukee, at Thunder MKE. You can find Drew at by Andrew Wagner. That's B-Y, not B-Y-E. We want him here. So it's hello, Andrew Wagner. Find him at by Andrew Wagner.
Hola.
See what I did there?
Yeah, it was very nice.
Very confusing.
You're getting good at this radio thing, Mitchell.
I don't know. It's my first time. This is Middays with Thunder on The Fan.
Yeah.
This is Middays with Thunder here on The Fan. Mitch Nellis is here. Drew Wagner is in studio with us today as well. I got to hang out with Drew yesterday at the Brewers game. It didn't go so well for our Brewers. 2-0 loss to the Philadelphia Phillies. They lose the series, but they win the season series 4-2 over the Philadelphia Phillies. That's why it's important to win all the games you can, because if you get into that tiebreaker, you don't want to have to deal with that. You don't have to worry about that.
According to Johnny Bunch of Numbers on Twitter, the season's over. I don't even know why they're in Pittsburgh tonight. The season's over. They peaked too early,
and they're
over? Doing the same old thing.
All right, well, let's table that for noon.
Yeah,
let's get into that at noon. Matt LaFleur just wrapped up talking to the media, and as I like to say, talking through the media to the people, because like the media is great, but the people and the fans are who matter.
Well, they're his bosses.
Exactly. Yeah, well, for him especially.
Yeah.
So Matt LaFleur spoke to the media just a few minutes ago. He was asked about, do they do the same thing this week? And that they would do on a regular week because it's week one. And he said pretty much the same stuff. Like every week's different, but it's the same. He was asked about Daniel Whelan getting the extension. Obviously had great words to say about how well he has punted his first 2 years in Green Bay. So let's pick up the press conference after those first two questions.
When you're putting together your game plan, even though it's a new coordinator, they have a play style as far as to the whistle.
Sure.
They're pretty physical and, let's say, kind of handsy on the back end. How much are you as a play caller / game planner leaning into stuff early with like your openers to try and get a feel for how they intend to play?
Yeah, I would say a lot of that is, I mean, you're going to be really the majority of the game, you're going to be constantly adjusting to certain things you see. And, I'm sure they're going to have a new flavor in really on offense and on defense. But I would say the majority is going to be probably the foundation that they've laid. They've had a lot of success over the last few years. So I can't see them deviating too much from that. They've got a lot of returning players, a lot of great players. So I would anticipate it's going to be majority a lot similar, but I'm sure they're going to have a few wrinkles in there as well, and as is to expect with every new season.
So I immediately want to say BS. I immediately want to say that Matt LaFleur on purpose is saying we expect them to do all the same things. Like, they're really good, and we're going to blow smoke up their tushies and all that sort of stuff. But I think they are expecting more than just a few wrinkles with two new coordinators. And as good as the Lions have been, I think Matt LaFleur wants, not that the Lions care or are listening to Matt LaFleur's press conferences, but I'm guessing part of his thinking is like, if I say we're just preparing for the Lions like we did last year, they're going to think they have a surprise for us, but we're ready for that surprise.
Yeah, it sounds like he is, as the kids say, honking our heinies, because there is absolutely no way that they have not anticipated every possible wrinkle. And what a shock that a coach uses a lot of words, says absolutely nothing, and none of which is factually accurate. Like, that is just talking. Word salad. Like, they have a plan. They know there's going to be different stuff because the Lions know that the Packers know that they can't come in and run the same stuff. Like, it is literally the entire point of competitive athletics.
Yep. I'm actually more interested to hear what Dan Campbell would say when asked, hey, you were expecting to face a very similar team, the Packers, like last year, and then they just got Micah Parsons. How does that change things? Because Dan Campbell, I think, would say, well, that changes everything. Like, have you seen him play?
Yeah.
He's unbelievable. And then but Dan Campbell would overemphasize the honk and the hiney of like, well, he's unbelievable. And we got to do everything in our power to make sure that we're ready because and you know who he sacks on the regular? Jared Goff. Like, he has sacked him before. So we all got to be ready for this.
I actually kind of like Dan Campbell. At first, he really chapped my rear end at first. And then it wasn't until I started dealing with Murph every day that I started to appreciate Dan Campbell, because there's some similarities there. Like you just said, the way that they'll come flat out and say, yeah, that changes everything, and really hammer home the point. Like, Murph does the same thing in a more backward way, but it's the same thing. And that really helped me appreciate Dan Campbell because, again, no I in team, but media starts with me.
It does.
Like guys like Campbell, guys like Murph, those guys give you information. They answer your question. They provide context to it. Sometimes they do it in a ridiculously demonstrative way,
or circular logic.
And Campbell is like that. You know, it comes off as a shtick at first, but when you sit down and you listen to him, at least listen to him to the vantage point that we have to listen to him. Like I love dealing with guys like that.
Yeah. Sean writes in on our YouTube channel. He's in the dugout. That's our YouTube chat. And Drew, this is a little bit for you. FanDuel on my phone is always fuzzy, even at home with no Wi-Fi. So I'm going to set up 2 televisions to watch the Brewers and Packers. Who doesn't have multiple TVs? This isn't Back to the Future in 1955. By the way, great Back to the Future reference. Remember when they wheeled the TV into the dining room to watch? What were they watching? Johnny?
No, it was
Gleason?
It was
the Honeymooners, or
what's his name? The Howdy Doody.
Howdy Doody. Okay, yeah. And then like Marty's like, oh my gosh, this is great. I've seen this on replay, and they're all like looking at him like, what earth do you live on? And they ask him how many TVs he has in his house. He's like, oh, we got 3. They're like, oh, he's just kidding, honey. Nobody has 3 TVs. Man, Back to the Future. It's classic. That's a good one. This is
wow. It would be 70 years today. 1955 to 2025.
That's 70 years ago. Yeah.
Wow. October 12th.
Yeah. Wow.
Save the clock tower.
That's impressive. This is Middays with Thunder. Mitch Nellis, Drew Wagner with you. Let's continue hearing from head coach Matt LaFleur.
What stands out about Goff's efficiency? What makes him so?
Yeah, if you give him a sliver of.
Hold on real quick. What if LaFleur said, well, he's really not that efficient. He had Bet Johnson as offensive coordinator. He doesn't have him anymore, so we expect him to suck.
That would be terrific.
How amazing would that be?
That would be spectacular.
Like he was really good because of his offensive coordinator. Now he just stinks. All right, here's Matt.
Yeah, if you give him a sliver of light, he's going to make you pay. I think he is so decisive as a quarterback. I think he does a great job reading with his feet. He can anticipate. He can make every throw out there. He's got a lot of trust and confidence in his playmakers, and he's got a lot of playmakers around him. So I think that over time, they've done a really good job protecting him. As with most quarterbacks, the key is always to, in the pass game, is try to get him off the spot as best you can because it's harder to throw like that. But he does a great job of feeling the pressure and knowing where to go with the football. So I think he's played at a really high level, really the course of his career, but especially these last couple of years, I think it's been elite.
Yeah, that sounds like a Ben Johnson answer to me. Is there a chance Jared Goff takes a step back this year?
There's always that chance. I mean, I don't want to say he's a young quarterback because he's been in the league quite a while. How long is it now?
2016 first overall pick, I believe.
Is it that long?
So this is his 9th season, basically?
I thought it was more like season, 5.
I mean, he was with the Rams for 3-4 years, and he's been with the Lions for 3-4 years.
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, guys do take a step back as they get older. That's just natural. You lose a step.
He's 30.
He's 30. He's only 30, and he's been I guess
his birthday. Actually, we should have celebrated this, Tommy. His birthday was the first ever day of the Mason Crosby show, October 14th. I believe we were either 12th or the 14th. I don't know. I'll have to go
we should send him a Mason Crosby jersey.
We should. Yeah, he is. He'll be 31 in October.
And that blows my mind because in my head it feels like he's only been there 5 years.
Yeah.
You know, I guess I forget that he was at the Rams and he had that big trade. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
that's why, because I forgot about that trade because I've tried to ignore that quarterback Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's for you. I understand.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Yeah, we'll move on. Matt LaFleur spoke to the media earlier today and had, so of course a lot of Detroit questions came out there. Let's hear what else he had to say.
I think all 53 guys on the practice field in some capacity yesterday. Will that be the same today?
That's the expectation.
That is the anticipation. Yes.
Oh, anticipation.
Close.
The camp Carrington has had, and maybe where he's growing from year 2 to 3.
Yeah, I think another guy that's just consistently improved, and I think a lot of it, just thinking back from a couple years ago, is he really transformed his body and added some weight and muscle. And
so this is one of the funny things to me about press conferences. Like literally any member of the media can ask, like, you have a football team of 53 guys, right?
Yeah.
You can ask about any of the 53. Like, I don't know that, and unless I'm writing a story about Carrington Valentine, do I care about this answer right now?
No.
Like I'll have this audio, I guess, for if you do, like if Valentine goes out and has 2 interceptions on Sunday, and then I have this audio from LaFleur and I can use it in a story or a soundbite or something, like that's cool. But it's like, to me, it's almost like, are we going to go? Why don't we just ask this question about all 53 guys?
Yeah.
Like, hey, talk about this guy. Hey, talk about this guy. First of all,
just don't say talk about.
Right. Just don't say talk about. Exactly. But that, like, to me, it's like, I as a fan, I kind of fall asleep a little bit when I hear just a question about, one person.
Right.
When it's like, I want to hear more about team and scheme and the bit, I want to hear about Parsons. I probably want to hear about Love. But like, all right, so clearly that guy, whoever that is writing a story about Valentine.
Right, exactly. And that's the whole point of press conferences.
I get it.
Like we're not doing it for entertainment purposes. I mean, these things never used to be broadcast, and now it's streamed and whatever. Like you're going in and you have a list, like probably even more so for the Packers. You go in, you have a list of, obviously you're going to have your game story, you're going to have your notebook, and you got to find sidebar angles. So you come up with a list of, like, 3 or 4 guys or situations that you're keeping an eye on because you think they might be a good story. So yeah, I understand why they're going in and asking the individual questions. Like, again, it's for us to get the information for stories that we're working on.
Yeah. I wish there was a way to do that didn't monopolize a 6.5 minute press conference with just one question about one player. Like, and sometimes there is, like, sometimes you can grab a guy
when you only get so much availability, and it's, even harder. Like in baseball, it's easy. We get the manager every single day, twice. We have, an hour and a half of clubhouse time every single day. We have the 6 weeks of spring training. Like we have more time to do that stuff. But I think in the NFL, you only get the head coach, once a week?
He's once during the week and then once obviously after the game.
So yeah, you got to fit him in when you can.
He was, this week he was twice, I think.
Yeah.
I think he was Monday, or it was either Monday or Tuesday, and then it was, it was Wednesday. It was Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah, I understand why he's doing that. Like you only get the guy once. Like, again, it's not for entertainment. It's a work thing.
I know.
Have we decided which side of the ball is going to be introduced on Sunday?
I have not.
I don't mind that question.
What is the point of that question? Okay, now based off of who in the world cares?
Because is Jordan Love going to be introduced, or is Micah Parsons going to be introduced? Like, to me, there's more, like, as a fan, I like that question because I like to know who's going to be introduced. Like, I like to know, are we starting defense? And are we highlighting Micah, or is this Jordan Love's team and we're highlighting Jordan?
I guess I never paid attention enough because I truly thought that they did the coin flip and then determined who got introduced in the starting lineups. I thought that's how, and then
that's how it should be. Before that, because the team's already out on the field by the coin flip,
and then whichever side, that's who gets introduced. Problem solved. There we go. Then we don't have stupid questions.
Spending so much time during camp. I'm seeing Reed the other day too. Are they back in a pretty good group as far as chemistry wise goes with the passing game?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, they've got a lot of banked reps that you can lean on, and I think certainly I would anticipate as the season progresses and they get more time on task with Jordan in our offense, I would anticipate it getting a little bit cleaner every week. So, but I think they've done a nice job. 2 guys that we know what we're getting and that we can count on.
What's most impressed you about Nate Hobbs and how he's been able to ramp up his recovery?
So I know this is a question. We just said, I don't really care about Valentine. I do care about Nate Hobbs because Nate Hobbs hadn't practiced since July 31st until he was on the field on Wednesday.
Not practicing, they're limited to almost a full time.
Yeah, Nate's a dog. He's a great
competitor,
and that's why we got him. So he's really worked hard at doing all the little things to put him in this position to, potentially play on Sunday.
All right, that's Matt LaFleur. We got a couple more. We got another minute or so of Matt LaFleur to get to, but we do want to get to Dylan Graff from BadgerNote.com. and talk a little Badger football here.
Oh,
on
I've got
Middays.
some questions.
Oh, I'll bet you do. You're going to dive deep, aren't you?
Oh, I am.
Yeah. You're going to be like 25 years ago when we used to go to all the games and cover all the games and like drink after the games.
Us? No.
Never.
No, we went
Never.
right to study hall.
Yes, exactly. This is Middays with Thunder with Drew Wagner on 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan, free on the Odyssey app. Find us on YouTube at The Fan Milwaukee. This is Middays with Thunder here on The Fan. My name's Mitch Nellis. His name is Drew Wagner. Tommy Wirtz is hanging out as well. How'd that get? Oh, because he sat down.
I was wondering if that was going to follow me.
Interesting. We're just having fun with technology here in the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We got so much fun coming up on the show. We're going to make our Week 1 NFL predictions. Woo-hoo! And in the 12 o'clock hour, we're going to talk a lot of Milwaukee Brewers because Drew and I were both at the game yesterday. Drew's at every home game. I'm at like 7. So it's basically the same.
But your presence brings an air of class and sophistication to the
I
press
just hope it
box.
brings joy. I don't need class or sophistication. I just like a smile. If I bring a smile to somebody's face, that's all I want to bring. I want to lead with kindness.
It's the closest thing I get to a smile. Does that count?
Yeah, that counts.
I mean, I don't choose kindness. I choose spite, but I respect it.
Joining us now on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law, one call. That's all from BadgerNotes.com. He is Dylan Graff. Dylan, welcome to the show. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Thank y'all for having me.
Absolutely. Great to have you on for the first time. Do I sense a Southern twang in your voice?
No, sir. Born and raised in Toad Creek, Wisconsin, only about 15 minutes from Madison.
All right. We'll take it. Well,
you can't pick up Northern Wisconsin. Come on.
I can't. To me, it's all, if you're outside of a city, I don't understand any of it.
Also, I've been to Turtle Creek.
Of course you have.
Token Creek.
Token Creek. Oh, sorry about that. My bad.
Between DeForest, some Prairie, Wanakee.
Yep.
God's country, some call it.
Yeah, so you're right there in the triangle. Absolutely. Well, Dylan, BadgerNotes.com, and it's great to have you on the show. Badgers, after a 17-0 win in Week 1, Middle Tennessee State coming to town on Saturday. What did you learn about the Badgers after Week 1?
You can only take so much away from, playing a lower level of competition, but you can't really discredit what Miami of Ohio is. They're a preseason, picked to get second in the MAC in the preseason, which isn't nothing. But I think if there's a few different things that you can take away from it. And ultimately, you really can't make any bones about the fact that this defense, was pretty lights out. The front seven was, I don't want to say as advertised, because they are building back from a place of instability, if nothing else, a year ago. They were one of the least productive front sevens in all of college football, really, no matter the metric. And I think that they were able to roll a lot of bodies on the defensive line. They didn't have to manufacture a lot of pressure. They won a ton of one-on-ones. Mason Reiger was incredible. I thought Sebastian Cheeks did a lot of really, really productive things. Some of the stunts that they ran with the inside linebackers were really impressive, just letting them go be athletes. I think that we learned a lot about what the defense has a chance to be this year. I mean, ultimately, they have a lot of depth. They're a package-specific defense. They have a lot of really niche roles. So I think ultimately defensively, I think you don't want to ascertain too much, but I think that they are in a much better place certainly than a year ago, and might have the ability to elevate this team and maybe keep them into some games that against some tougher opponents down the road that are coming. And so that was something that I really took away. And then, offensively, I think, there's something to be said for winning a game when your starting quarterback goes down. That's something that unfortunately Luke Fickell and his staff have had to deal with quite a bit the past couple of seasons. But Danny O'Neil brought a little something different in his opportunity out there. There were plenty of mistakes, a lot of balls I think he'd like to have back. But offensively, they ran the football pretty well. They only had one explosive run, ultimately, but they've got a problem to sort out at left tackle. And I will be interested to see what exactly that looks like on Saturday. I think ultimately it's encouraging that they have an offense where they can spread the ball around, utilize players in a lot of different ways, and maybe it doesn't fall so heavily on the quarterback. So I'm excited to see how they build on that this week.
Hey, Dylan, as a UC guy, I was pretty ticked off when Fickell left and came to Wisconsin, but I thought, okay, this dude has the pedigree. He's got the smarts, and it hasn't worked out. And something that's been really boggling my mind, and you kind of touched on some of those topics. One, you mentioned the front seven was pretty bad by all metrics last year. Then you talked about the running game having one explosive thing. And what I can't figure out is I can't name the Wisconsin running back for the first time in a long time. I can't name a member of the offensive line for the first time in a long time. So under Fickell, what is the Badgers' identity now? Because it used to be one of the most surefire things in all of sports. You said Wisconsin, you thought big offensive, corn-fed line, lights out running back, and a lockdown defense.
Yeah, I think that is ultimately, I think this year is the year that we're going to figure that out. I think that ultimately, arrogance is not the right word. You come in with a certain amount of confidence in what you're doing at a Cincinnati. It's how you got to the college football playoff. Ultimately, you I mean, that year, the year that they went to the college football playoff, sent 8 players to the NFL. That was tied for the most in that draft. So it shows that they have an ability to identify, develop talent, right? And so they want to come here, they want to do those things and kind of rewrite some of the things that really made Wisconsin special. And it didn't work. I think it was a miscalculation at best. Defensively, wanting to change up some of what they were doing and kind of giving up some of that size. And that certainly did not work in the Big Ten. Offensively, they took a big swing in what they wanted to be offensively, and they missed. And ultimately, there is a identity you can recruit to and you can sell to people at Wisconsin. And I think that Jeff Grimes represents, what Fickle was a lot more vocal and involved in what he wanted to see the offense be last year. And it's because there was a disconnect between he and Phil Longo. And I think there's no secret about that. It's why he didn't make it through the year, among many reasons. And so Jeff Grimes represents somebody who I think philosophically is on the same page as him, and is who he wants to be. And I also, for all the questions surrounding Mike Tressel and his tenure here so far, I think what they have done in terms of bringing in different body types and kind of meshing back into really a defensive front that looks a lot closer to what we would have seen maybe under a Jim Leonard. I think that it's a course correction this year. And I think where they deserve the credit is that they learned the lessons of their shortcomings. And it's really going to be a matter of now, can they go out and execute and actually be that? They know who they want to be, but who are they? And so that's ultimately what we're trying to figure out. I don't think that you can label them as having an identity yet, but I'm hopeful that, we're having a very different discussion in 4 or 5 weeks, that speaks to that this team actually knows who they are. So I think that they have a clear direction, but we're going to find out whether or not that is who they are.
And I guess my follow-up is, who is Wisconsin's running back? Because partially I'm, living in a hole in the press box at Miller Park all season. But again, you used to go into the season and everyone in college football knew Wisconsin's running back is going to put up ridiculous numbers.
And so a year ago, that was it was a really unique room, right? You bring back like a Ches Malusi, you go get a Tawi Walker as insurance, and then you have 2 highly recruited running backs behind them where, how do you really figure out where to put them in? Darian Dupree ended up getting those reps as the number 2 last season. But this year, credit to the staff, like they were able to retain both Darian Dupree and Dylan Jones while keeping Cade Giacomelli in the fold. And I think that the running back room is probably one of the stronger position groups on the roster this year, in terms of what they can be, right? Dylan Jones, one of the highest rated running back recruits in the program's history. Darian Dupree is someone who brings a tremendous amount of versatility. And Cade Giacomelli, very limited amount of touches a year ago, but showed that he could really do some things with that. And all 3 played in the opener. So I think Dylan Jones is going to be your guy who is, maybe you're more between the tackles, bell cow, a guy you can see on first and second down quite a bit. Certainly has good enough hands to be utilized in third down, but Darian Dupree is somebody who, he got some good run last year, but he's definitely taken a step and he plays bigger than his size, but he's someone that you can send in motion. He's someone you can play out of the slot who's got some really unique receiving chops there. In his own words, his hands are certified. So I think you're going to be able to, kind of utilize them in a lot of unique ways. And as long as the offensive line, which again, the left side, particularly at left tackle, there are some major question marks. I think that there are enough guys who can give you something to feel really good about. I do think it could be a year early before we look at someone and say, hey, that is a first or second team all Big Ten back. But I do think that there exists a world where a guy like Dylan Jones could find himself in that honorable mention range this year. He's supremely talented, and somebody who went from a guy who only had 16 touches a year ago to really unquestionably the guy I think will end the year with the most snaps. So big leap from him, but I'm really excited about what is possible for him and Dupree for that matter.
Dylan Graff joining us from BadgerNotes.com. Follow him on Twitter at Dylan Graff. Dylan, we all know that Billy Edwards Jr. is out, and I don't know if you have a feeling for how long he will be out for. But I'm interested in Danny O'Neil, like beyond what we saw in week 1. What can you tell us about Danny O'Neil? Like, let's say I'm I'm a Badger fan, but I'm kind of a casual fan, and I don't really follow the backup quarterbacks. Like, what do we need to know about Danny O'Neil now going into at least week 2 as the starter, if not further into the season?
Yeah, so I think that Danny O'Neil is somebody who has certainly gotten a lot better, even as, during his time at Wisconsin. And there's a reason that they went and targeted him in the portal out of San Diego State. I'm very fortunate to have access to the All-22, so I was able to kind of go back, look at who exactly is Danny O'Neil. And he was a guy who started 11 games for the Aztecs a year ago. He is not what I would call a running quarterback, but he is a quarterback who absolutely can run. So he provides a threat that you didn't get with a Braden Locke a year ago. He's someone who is going to keep you honest. You can utilize in the RPO a little bit. He can pull it down. And as you saw in the opener, he can pick up some yardage with his legs, but he's got an above average arm. I think that you're going to notice that Billy Edwards brings a lot bigger arm than a Danny O'Neil does, but it's absolutely serviceable. I think at this point, I don't want to pigeonhole him as a one-read quarterback, but he's a sophomore, a true sophomore. He's someone who can make the throws. But I think the most important part of what he is and what he can be for Wisconsin right now is that he has a tremendous amount of confidence. And it was talked about, by the staff afterwards, the other players. Like, people have an actual belief in him, one that did not exist a year ago. And there are no shots at the departed. That's just the reality. Danny O'Neil has a confidence and a swagger about him that maybe you don't always have in a backup, and it's a little different. He had a full year as the starter, under Sean Lewis outside or at San Diego State, and so he has a good grasp of who he is. He's somebody who, at least a year ago did not put the ball into danger very many times. He only threw 6 interceptions on the season. Now in the opener, he had the, pretty questionable interception on 4th down. He had 2 other balls I think very easily could have gone the other way. And, his pocket presence maybe left something to be desired, but Davis Heinzen didn't do him any favors at left tackle. So he's somebody that can absolutely extend plays. I think that he has the confidence as that ball he threw to Grant Steck. He really threaded a needle there to kind of put them in position to go punch one in. I have a lot more confidence in his ability to run a competent offense, not really handicap them without their starter, and improvise enough to give them a good chance. Certainly this weekend, I'm not concerned about what his ability to orchestrate this offense is this weekend, but given that there exists a real possibility he could be counted on beyond this weekend as well, I feel a lot better about him as the backup, certainly better than a year ago. So I think that Danny O'Neil brings a lot of tools, but ultimately probably an above average quarterback backup, in the Big Ten for sure.
Got it. Dylan Graff joining us here on Middays with Thunder on the Fan, 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, the Fan. So Middle Tennessee State, we know it's 20.5, 29-point favorite. It's hard to say, what could go wrong for them to lose this game, but they certainly could win this game by 7 or 14, as we've seen from past years. And then, of course, Alabama's on the horizon. How do you keep that focus for this week, knowing you're going down to Tuscaloosa next week?
That was something that Luke Fickell talked about a little bit, that he's, and of course there's a layer of coach speak there, not looking past the opponent and just keeping that focus where it is. But Middle Tennessee is coming. This is arguably one of the lower level programs in Division I. They just lost to FCS Austin, PA last week, and they only had 153 total yards of offense. They went 0 for 12 on 3rd downs. And so ultimately, I think that this is a week where we're not going to learn anything about Wisconsin unless it's negative, ultimately, because this is an opponent where, given what we saw out of our defense in week 1, I think that one should reasonably expect a very similar, equally dominant outing. Now, you can't necessarily say you're going to hold them to 117 total yards of offense, but I don't think Middle Tennessee is going to be able to move the ball a whole lot. This is an opportunity, though, offensively, to, if you are going to, the staff has kind of alluded potentially there could be some shuffling on the offensive line. And so this gives them that opportunity to try those things, to really focus on, like, if it is going to be Danny O'Neil for another week, maybe they're going to try to generate some of those explosives that we did not see in week one. That maybe that's a negative coming out of week one is we didn't really see that. And so it's an opportunity really for them to try some things to really lean into what they want to be, because they have to be ready when they roll into Alabama, and they know that. So I think this is a big opportunity to just focus on the things that they control, the controllables, ultimately focus on who they want to be, and just understand this is an opponent where I don't think we're going to learn a lot again, unless there's a negative outcome, because I think this is someone if we're going to be a bowl bound team, if we're going to try to push against some of those teams,
that's a big if there, Dylan. That's a big if there, my friend.
Absolutely. It is. It absolutely is. And so you have to come in and you have to show that you can be dominant against an opponent like this. And if you can't, cover potentially, I think that raises more questions than it gives you answers.
Dylan Graff, badgernotes.com. That's where you can read all your stuff. Follow you on Twitter at Dylan Graff. Dylan, thank you so much for being our eyes and ears there in Madison. Enjoy the game on Saturday, and we'll definitely catch up in the future.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely.
Take care, Dylan.
Yeah, that's Dylan Graff again, badgernotes.com. There's a couple guys there that work over there, and Dylan is at all the press conferences, in the locker room, hearing everything that's going on. And as we I don't know, hope's not the right word. Like expect our Badgers to go 2-0.
Hope.
I don't think we need to hope. I'll give them the win this. Tommy's the biggest Badger hater there is.
Yeah.
And even Tommy thinks the Badgers are going to win this Saturday.
Yeah, they're not going to cover.
Right. I didn't
cover.
I didn't pick them to cover.
No, they'll win. They won't cover.
Right.
I don't even think they're going to put up 29 points.
I think they could put up 34, but if they give up a touchdown, then they don't cover.
What did they get last week? Was it 23?
17.
17
zip.
On the Miami of Ohio.
And favored by 17.5. Yeah. And Miami of Ohio is much better than Middle Tennessee State. They just are.
Yeah, they are.
I guess I'm at the point where I've lost faith in Wisconsin. And I'm not like dogging them like I do the Packers. Like I legit don't have faith anymore that a guarantee gimme game is going to be a guarantee gimme game. They've lost that. That's how bad this program itself has gotten. And it's not just Fickle.
Right.
Like the last couple of years of Christ, I was done with it.
Yes, as we all were, and then we thought it would get better under Fickle, and it's just gotten worse.
Well, and the first line we heard from Tim Grogan on the Green today was how he didn't even start his recruiting until he was done with Wisconsin, which is completely the opposite of what Mr. Fickle has done. I know it's two different sports, but
the thing that boggles my mind is you look back, and I'm not counting like the Rose Bowl years, whatever, when you had. If you look back the last 10, 15, whatever it is years, and it's probably more than that now because, again, we're old, the best Wisconsin team of the recent modern era is the Russell Wilson year.
Sure.
And the way that worked so well was because that team was still built on traditional Wisconsin, big, fat, corn-fed farm boy linemen, lights out running back, lockdown defense, and then you went in and added a dynamic quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And how did Fickle not see this? Was there not a binder in the office that said, hey, here's the key to success at Wisconsin?
Smarter than that.
Right.
He thought he was smarter than that, than what had worked for 30 years.
Like if he built a Alvarez, Bielema, Chris base, and then went out and got a guy like Desmond Ridder, who he had at Cincinnati, the playoff year, was one of the most entertaining, fundamentally sound quarterbacks I've ever seen play.
Yeah.
Like that, and he's the backup now for the Bengals. So like,
right.
He's bounced. I think it was with Atlanta first. Like, what? How do you not realize this?
Yes.
It's boggling my mind to me.
And I think he is realizing it now, and that's why a lot of people are saying like they could go 4-8 this year, but be significantly better than they were last year. And so he gets another year, and then next year is the year that they really arrive and get back to 8-4 and on their way to being the perennial bowl gate team. And, I don't know if there'll be a Big Ten, competing for the title with the new.
Now that college football has gone completely stupid and drunk.
I want them to just add 6 teams so they can get to 24, and then they can be 2 actual divisions.
Well,
and then
that's what we're going to have. We're
only
only a couple years away from having 2 leagues,
right?
The ESPN league and the Fox League.
Nice.
And that's what it's going to come down to. And you know what? Do that with college football.
Yep.
Like, okay, here we go. This is what that's going to be. Everything else in every other sport goes back to the original conferences. Separate football, Do it on it. Find 24 or 32 of the biggest programs.
Right. And that's it.
Put them into 2. Everyone else goes back to their original leagues.
He's Drew Wagner. I'm Mitch Nellis. Again, our thanks to Dylan Graff for jumping on the fan guest hotline powered by Gruber Law. One called That's All. Brewers talk coming up in the noon hour. We're going to talk about the game yesterday. We're going to talk about the series coming up in Pittsburgh. We're going to talk about the final 23 games and what that means. I did throw a question up on my Facebook page earlier today. Who is the one Brewer that you are counting on the most, that you are, keeping your eye on the most for these final 23 regular season games? He's Drew Wagner. I'm Mitch Nellis. Tommy Wirtz is here as well. We are Middays with Thunder here on 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan, free on the Odyssey app, AUDACY.
lightning and the thunder.
But after all these years, I'm still scared of thunder.
It's time for Middays with Thunder with Mitch Nellis, broadcasting live from the 1250 AM and 1057 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
This is Middays with Thunder here on 1250 AM 1057 FM The Fan. Again, our thanks to Dylan Graff, BadgerNotes.com, jumping on. They do a great job covering the Badger games. They're in the locker room. They're at the press conferences. So I don't have to be, because I did that for a long time. I did it while I was in Madison. I also did it while I was in Milwaukee, driving back and forth every Monday for every press conference, going to all the games. I love going to the games. I'm kind of good not going like as bad. I think there were like 3 or 4 years there where I would get in the car, close my eyes, an hour and 15 minutes later, I would open my eyes in Madison. Like, that's how well I knew that drive.
I know that drive very well. Know the Green Bay drive.
Yeah,
the Cincinnati drive, the St. Louis drive.
I know the Knoxville, Tennessee drive, and I know the basically Seaside, Florida drive, which is a 15-hour drive, but is absolutely amazing. You guys are invited.
I've made the drive to Florida once.
You guys are invited to the beach house.
Never again.
Yeah, I will never drive to Florida. I will meet you there via plane, but I will never
you
drive.
Can come. I mean,
I'm also not a beach type person. Like, if it was a cabin in the woods, okay.
But it's also like the way it's set up is that you don't have to go to the beach once, and you feel like you're like in the woods.
Okay.
Like it's a seaside town that's 2 miles away from the touristy spot. And then there's lots of touristy spots around, but Grayton Beach, which is in proper, like feels chill.
Can I tell you something without trying to hurt your feelings, but it's just a fact?
You can tell me whatever you want.
You sound like every woman I've ever dated.
The Pacific Ocean is just so much better than the Atlantic Ocean.
I will agree with that. You know what's weird is I've lived.
I mean, that might be true. I don't know. I don't know the Pacific Ocean at all.
Oh,
I literally went to Half Moon Bay 2 weeks ago outside of San Francisco, but it's like 50 and windy the whole time there. So
I've lived.
But it's a great beach. Like, we sat and read and had a good time. But I've never done the Pacific Ocean. I mean, I grew up in Boston, so obviously I grew up going to Maine, and I know the Atlantic.
I've lived in Milwaukee most of my life.
For a minute.
And for 15 years, I lived downtown.
Okay.
So I'm like, less than a mile from the lake.
Yeah.
I have been in the Pacific Ocean significantly more times than I've been in Lake Michigan.
Okay.
Which is ridiculous.
Have I even ever been in the Pacific? I've been to Santa Monica. I've been on the beach.
If I had unlimited money, I'd live in Santa Monica.
Yeah. I don't know that maybe I put my toes in.
The end point of Route 6, the western terminus of Route 66.
Santa Monica, maybe the most beautiful place on earth.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
My when I first started dating Mrs. Thunder, one of her college friends lived and we were out there. We flew to LA. We did LA for a few days. We drove up to San Francisco, Stanford, and then we went over to Tahoe.
I would like you to know that I prevented me from saying a year of when you first started dating Mrs. Thunder out of respect for Mrs. Thunder, not out of respect for you, though, Mitch. I was going to say,
like what year?
I was going to be like
1846.
Right, but I didn't say that.
Mrs. Thunder and I were dating because we've been married.
Yeah, so out of respect for Mrs.
Next
Thunder,
month it'll be 19 years.
I was in first grade.
That you've been together or married?
Married.
How long you been together?
Like 2 years before that.
Wow,
not a crazy amount of time.
I outdate.
Oh yeah,
I predate Mrs. Thunder in Mitch World.
She didn't move here until 21 years ago.
Wow.
22 years ago. Like, anyone I knew in college, I've known longer than Mrs. Thunder, and I knew you in college.
I loved you first.
Fair, that's true. This is Middays with Thunder. It's all love on Middays with Thunder. Again, like I said, our thanks to Dylan Graff for jumping on the show on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. 414-677-1250 is our phone number, 414-677-1250. If you want to be a part of the show, you can talk or text on that line as we transition our discussion to our Milwaukee Brewers. Our Milwaukee Brewers currently, today, as we sit in Major League Baseball, are ... Good. 4.5. Good. Yep. 4.5 games up on the Blue Jays and Phillies. 5 up on the Tigers. 5.5 up on the Cubs. Now, all those games you can cross off those half numbers because in the loss column they're 4 up on the Phillies and 5 up on the Cubs. as we enter. They're 86-55. That is 141 games. That means they have 21 games left. Did I say 23 earlier? I meant 21.
Yeah, I was trying to figure it out in my head, but I can't do math.
They have 21 games left. I did throw a question up on my Facebook page earlier today. That's Thunder MKE on Facebook. What one Brewer is most key to their success over their next 21 games? I know that's not really a relevant question, right? They need to get healthy. The guys who are healthy need to stay healthy. I don't know. Am I speaking out of school here, Drew, by saying at the end of yesterday's press conference with Pat Murphy, Pat kind of hinted that there was another injury coming.
Yeah.
I have a theory. I'm sure you have a theory.
I have a theory.
But it sure sounded like it was an injury on a pitcher. And as we look at that, we know that Trevor McGill had a bullpen yesterday, and Pat said it went well, and that he's expected back when he's due back. So that's a good sign. And that, with Yelich, we're going to just continue to watch that back and see what's going on there. What is your theory with regards to an injury with the Brewers right now?
I hate speculating on this stuff when it comes to an injury, and I don't want to be wrong. But
you can play
I look at the schedule and the workload because we track. We got Jack is crazy, so he has a little flow chart there. And
by Jack Stern.
Nick Mears hadn't pitched since Monday.
Why are we on the
when
same
he had
page?
that really bad ninth inning?
We are exact. That is
add in the fact that he's been working his rear end off this season. That just seems to, because if it was this is not a knock, obviously. If it was someone that might have been like Yoho or something, I don't think Murph would have been as vocal about it there.
Right.
But it kind of popped in when you saw Ashby come in the sixth inning and not Mears.
Right.
That's like, okay, that's odd because he's well rested. He's 2 days off.
And then Phillies is a weird setup too, though, because of how they have Schwarber and Harper back to back. That sometimes, like what we saw at the game before in the game the Brewers won,
where they flip-flop,
they flip-flop Uribe and Koenig, which angered me as someone who picked up Uribe on his fantasy team.
I'll pass that on to Murph. You could have told him yesterday.
I should have told him that yesterday. No, but I had the same exact reaction once I thought about it for half a second. It's like, is it Mears? And again, I will say Mears' health on September 25th is way more important than his health on September 5th.
Yeah, it's again, as long as it's nothing serious.
Right.
That's going to keep him out and force him to kind of ramp back up. If it's something minor, okay, great. You give him 2 weeks to chill out a little bit, to rest the arm, do some structured work, and then you've got him for the last, month, 6 weeks, however long it takes to get to where they want to go. But you're just hoping that it's not as serious as Murph kind of hinted it might be.
The Brewers take on the Pirates tonight. It's a 5:40 first pitch on Apple TV Plus. Drew, what do you think of Apple TV Plus games?
I really like them.
Really?
I like the production of it. I like the camera work. I like the graphics package. I really like the graphics package.
Didn't you see, wasn't it the Mets game that there was like a conflict with the backdrop of the Mets, and you could tell that there was like a blur over the screen. It was only in the Mets game, so I think it had to be something with the sponsorship that had to be on that back wall there, but I don't know, Drew. I
like the visual presentation of it. I've had some issues with the play-by-play and color commentators, but I will say, and I've known her for 20 years, 15 years. Trisha Whitaker is spectacular.
Yeah,
she's so much fun. She's so good at her job. She loves baseball. She loves sports. She always has something cool to say or a cool little story. And pocket pancakes being one of them. But
sure.
I would love to see Trisha doing play-by-play. She's always been one of my favorites. She used to be up at Channel 5 in Green Bay. I like when Dorsey is on. He's a good writer. He's got a lot of good information and brings it in a decent way. But the thing we have to remember is Friday nights have always been the lowest rated games.
Yeah.
There's a reason that the other networks were willing to pass up on those packages.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to do and take a flyer on games and put it on streaming, one, you're obviously going to take the money that's being offered. And two, you do it on Friday night when the odd thing about it is most of the people that are actually home on Friday night are the people without all the streaming technology, because young hip people like ourselves, we're out hitting the town.
Yes, young hip people like ourselves.
What about, like, they do this, they've been doing this for a long time now in sports, so it's not anything new, but is anyone like really clamoring to hear what the manager thinks during the game of some sorts? Like, it makes more sense. It makes more sense when it's like, okay, it's halftime and we are all taking a break and we're going to go talk to the coach at the break. But baseball doesn't like do that.
Have a halftime, right?
And I don't know. I always like, there's no way. Murphy maybe has enjoyed it the most of any manager that I've seen on the Apple TV broadcast because he ate the pocket pancake. But like, I just, no way they want to do those during the game.
The other thing you have to remember is most broadcasts are not meant for sports fans, because networks know that sports fans are going to watch the game no matter what. What they're trying to do is get more people. It's like an election. You already know the people that are going to go for you. The reason that you go out and lie is to get the people that aren't sure. So it's the same thing in this. Like, you're trying to add stuff in here that's going to get more people watching other than the ones you know who are going to watch no matter what. You can televise the game upside down and like season ticket holders are going to watch.
Yeah, it's I think you're right. Like, they're trying to figure out something. I do the hit probability. I think that's weird. I don't know that, like, well,
you got to remember there's a lot of geeks at home on Friday nights. There are. Also
on Apple TV at 1:20 today. The Nationals are at the Cubs. So it's Nationals at Cubs this weekend as it's Brewers at Pirates. And I like doing this stat. Like, if the Brewers can just get 500 the rest of the way. So if they can go 10-11 the rest of the way, I know they'll win 96 then and not 97. And we all want them to win a franchise record 97. But if they can get to 10-11 the rest of the way, the Cubs have to go 16-6.
Yep.
And that's the number that I think about, that if this gets to 2 games, or if this gets to 1.5 or 1 or 3 or 4 or whatever it is, I think about that number, that the 21 games the Brewers have, if they could go 10-11, and then the Cubs have to go 16-6 to win the division. And can they go 16-6? Sure, they absolutely can. It's hard to go 16-6, just like it's hard to win 14 in a row or 11 in a row or whatever it is. And I'd rather the Brewers.
It's hard to win one.
Yeah, we saw that yesterday.
Yep.
I mean, we saw the Brewers, and this, for years before this year, I can't remember a time that I haven't complained about the Brewers getting runners home from third with less than 2 outs. And I think every fan base probably complains about that, because every fan base thinks that if your baseball team gets a runner on third with less than 2 outs, you should always get that runner in. And I feel like this year, the Brewers have kind of flipped that.
Maybe that's, Tommy, maybe that's why Sparky is so upset about Anthony Siegler, because runners in scoring position was one of our fearless leaders' favorite complaints, and rightfully so.
Yep.
Maybe we've found something.
I mean, he's also just a negative defender to one of the better third basemen on the defensive side in the league.
He's just not good at Major League Baseball.
He's good
at baseball. He's not good at Major League Baseball.
In the words of Barney Stinson, just come on, play along,
suit up.
Yeah.
But I think that as we the Brewers more often than not have gotten the big hit this year.
Yeah, they really
have. And so that's why it's shocking yesterday when they get second and third with nobody out and don't get one run in.
And they were doing that all game on top of that, Mitch. I mean, weren't they 0 for 10 when Durbin popped up?
And it's worth noting, they were going up against a really damn good pitcher.
They were.
I mean, everyone's a good pitcher in the major leagues now, Drew.
And
at this
especially
point.
Ranger Suarez.
Yeah. Especially.
He's one of the better ones in the National League. The Phillies have a really good bullpen. Like, you know what? You're going to have games like that against good pitching. We always say good pitching beats good hitting, right? The Brewers are good hitters.
Yesterday.
The Phillies are good hitters. You're not. When you're getting an overabundance of breaks like you do, which you need to get when you're winning 11 and 14 straight games, it's going to even out. It's the nature of the game.
I have a personal gripe as well with national baseball media that I would like to air out during this segment. Zach Wheeler done for the year, and the Phillies are still like being considered wide, heavy favorites for what they can do in the postseason.
Have you seen the the starting lineup for the Philadelphia Phillies?
I understand, but if Freddie Peralta went down, like the Brewers would be eliminated from any contention of anything to everyone else's mind. That would just totally blow up everything.
If Giannis were, it's the is Giannis going to stay type thing.
Yeah, but at least like Giannis has proven that he carries.
Right. But what I'm saying is it's the doomsday thing, the same kind of doomsday stuff that like the national media pitches about his future in Milwaukee. It's the same thing. There's this whatever, like this team is destined to fail.
Yeah.
Although half the fan base feels that way too. I'm laughing at this. There's a guy that was trolling me all spring long. This team is going to lose 100 games. And then he was complaining that when they were winning, he's like, well, it's not going to last. And then when it lasted was, yeah, well, they're going to blow it in the playoffs. And then he was griping the other day, if this team doesn't win 100 games, it's a failure. And I'm like, do you realize how contradictory you are?
Right, but I would also say, who cares about how many wins you win in the regular season? We need postseason success.
None of those guys care about winning any number of games other than the one more needed to finish ahead of the next one. That's it. And that's the only thing that matters. If they tank out and win 92 games, which hard to say that 92, it would be a horrible thing. You're still going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
You might still be the one. Like it's ridiculous how good this team is and how little people want to enjoy it.
Yeah. And
some people, there are lots of people out there enjoying this season.
Enjoying it very much.
I mean, there were 26,000 at the park yesterday on a weirdly timed day game. I know that's
bringing dogs. Some people don't like dogs.
Yeah, I know they moved it from 1:10 to 3:10 because school's already in, but school kids can't get there by 3:10 either.
Yeah, I didn't understand any of that.
That was it. Like newsflash to the Milwaukee Brewers: either keep it at 1:10 or make it 4:10. Or
3:10 was the latest they could start the game. So there are CBA limitations,
right,
on when games can start on getaway days. And so it was one. Since the Phillies are going back home, it was only one time zone.
Right.
The latest you could start it was 3 o'clock.
So start it at 1:10.
And I agree with you. I agree with you.
Here?
3 o'clocks are the worst. They screw up your morning.
Like
your
my kids
afternoon,
are like,
your night.
it's a day game. We want to go to the game. And I'm like, honestly, I'd be more likely to just take my kids out of school after lunch.
Well, I was going to say,
take them to a 1:10 game than to take them through like 3:10 is not good for anybody.
You still could have taken them out at lunch and tailgated.
I wasn't tailgating. Yes, I mean, but then they got evening activities. And that gets into evening activities.
What's
that
more
ruins
important?
Everybody's schedule.
What's more important?
Stupid.
Thunder Rumble time at the ballpark or activities?
Have you heard of Bob Gibson?
Yes. He threw baseballs and held hands with Bob Uecker.
Have you heard of Don Drysdale?
I have. Mm-hmm. He was on Mr. Ed.
Oral Hershiser?
Yep.
He was on Baseball Tonight.
Zach Greinke?
I have his jersey hanging in my closet.
And kind of an outlier, Zach Gallen.
Yeah, he was really good until this year.
Yeah. And Freddie Peralta.
Those are all guys who
have strung together at least 5 consecutive scoreless starts of at least 5 innings.
Oh, Drew's fuming at that stat.
That's the
Drew's
list.
Fuming. I mean, just the most Mickey Mouse 29 scoreless innings of all time.
It's still he's 3 away from Teddy Higuera's.
Do you have any of that Sun Cruiser stashed around somewhere?
Sun Cruiser vodka, baby. Let's go.
Oh yeah, I could just tell that was fuming on Drew.
But you do. I mean, listen. Since Freddie Peralta gave up that home run to Eli White, yes, we're not getting the innings from him. But you give up no runs in 5 innings. You're giving your team a chance to I mean, you're not going to win. You're
giving the team a chance to win, but you ain't winning it for them.
You're not right.
This is literally Freddie Peralta is Thanos, and when you ask him what does it cost, it is Nick Mears, Trevor McGill, and every other bullpen arm.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Everything.
What are you?
I got the reference.
Mitch got the reference. Everything. It was like what
did it cost?
Yeah.
Is it like from the Iliad and the Odyssey with Homer?
No, that was
it probably is.
That was back when Mitch Nellis went to college. Oh, that was when you guys went to college.
Wow. More Brewers talk coming up. He's Drew Wagner. Tommy Wirtz is here. Drew Wagner just showed Tommy the Sparrow and the Robin, right?
That's right.
Nicely done. This is Middays with Thunder here on 1250 and 105.7 FM, The Fan. Remember, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer at Rally House at the Mayfair Collection from 2 to 5 today. Go visit Sparky. Go say hello. Go get, just like really embarrass him publicly. Like when you get there, just like, oh my God, it's Sparky. I can't believe it. Sparky, I love you. Because that's what I'm going to do. This is Middays with Thunder.
Oh, and I'm married Tyler Moe. I don't care what they say about us anyway. I don't care about that.
I actually think that's going to slap on YouTube, Tommy.
Yeah,
I
Drew.
think it is.
We
Drew
play
doesn't know this, but it's great.
So none of our music plays over YouTube. So that's just you a
So that
cappella
was just
right
you
there.
a cappella singing on YouTube, Buddy Holly. Which actually, you actually did a pretty good job.
I think it was fine.
Like,
yeah.
Like
I'm
my
never
singing
coming
is
back here
awful.
again.
Your singing is fantastic.
I'm never coming back here
This
again.
is Middays with Thunder on The Fan, and I did put up a question on Facebook. Who is the most important brewer for the final 21 games of the season? We've got a number of different votes. We saw a vote for Terang. Ken writes in, there's no one brewer that is most important. However, I am looking for ramped up offensive production from our bench players. When Murph puts in his A team on the field, combined with our pitching, this team is lights out. Tony says Woodruff need to get him in a groove again to have 4 elite postseason starts. Sean says Andrew Vaughn, when he was hot, we were winning. Now that he's cooled, so have the Brewers. He did have 3 hits yesterday, by the way. Derek says stay healthy. And we had another vote that came in for the trainer. Justin says Yelich. He is the locker room leader, also very consistent. And Frank says, obviously it's a team sport, but I think it's Rhys Hoskins. The Brewers need proven World Series veterans to help the young guys. It's strange that he's still rehabbing. I fear he just got going. He's just going to get released for some reason. He is eligible to come off today. According to some websites, there is the thought that he's ready to roll. They wouldn't put a pitcher on the injured list and bring up a hitter, would they? I know they just brought up Yoho.
In the situation, no, you can.
Well,
just
you
in
can.
the situation that they're in right now, I don't see that happening.
Right.
I mean, listen, Murph talked about this
is it
before
just
the
Chad
game
Patrick
yesterday.
then? Is Patrick just going to come back? Or?
They may have to be the move. There's not. That's the thing, is they're kind of right back to where they started in the beginning of the season. And Tommy and I talked about this yesterday in the leadoff show, which you can hear again today at 5:00 here on 105.7 The Fan.
4:30 even.
4:30 even. Oh wow.
Drew will be on at 5:15.
Yeah.
Right.
They have no pitchers left, and all their depth is gone.
Yeah.
They are burned through right now.
You know who I feel
Gasser
sad?
might be
Gasser might be the guy,
but I think they want to get him more reps. But coming out of the pen,
he's pitched 5 or 6 games down there. He's only starting.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the thing. Like you've got to ease it into it.
You
don't want to, especially when you're running a risk of a guy that's coming off a TJ.
Yeah. No,
So
you're
it's tough. It's tough.
You know who I'm bummed about that I thought could have really been a helper here in September?
Shelby.
Well, yes, I'm bummed about Shelby in general. Logan.
Yeah.
I thought Logan could have been an electric arm out of the bullpen.
I thought they really had a good thing going for them with the prospect of using Henderson, Gasser, Ashby, Hall, Myers as multi-inning guys out of the pen. And in fact, me and Dirtbag Rowe, we joked last year like Joe Ross was having a pretty awful season, but then he became bullpen Joe Ross and was as lights out it gets. And we've been looking at Toby Myers as being that kind of 2025 bullpen Joe Ross, and we haven't seen it yet. He's been good, but we haven't seen him really click yet.
True. If everything works out perfectly and they get their perfect match for a playoff roster, the Brewers, that is, Henderson and Gasser both on it.
That's tough to say. That's honestly tough to say,
because Henderson, they keep telling us that his season's not over. It's like an early October return. So you would think that maybe that's a plan. And then Gasser as well, to be a similar Aaron Ashby type-esque player, or DL Hall.
They can also, from series to series, they can change the roster. So it could depend on the opponent and the lefty.
If you get the 1 seed, what do you have? Like a week after the season ends?
The 1 and
is
the
it
2
quite a
both
week?
get a week.
Yeah. Is it a full week? Yeah.
I think it's like 5 or 6 days.
Yeah, it's a pretty significant chunk of time.
Because it's a 3-game series that you wait. There's a day off, then a 3-game series.
Listen, we keep hearing could be back in early October.
Right.
When you're dealing with a young guy that's had elbow history in the past, he's got the flexor thing right now. They are going to, unless they absolutely need to, give him as much time, even if it means he doesn't pitch in the postseason. And if he's not pitching in the postseason, chances are you're doing well enough elsewhere. You don't need him.
Sure.
I think they try to avoid him as much as possible until they are absolutely certain he can go out there and throw out 100%.
Jim Perotto,
John.
What did I say? I said Jim?
Yeah, you said
It literally says John right here on my sheet.
John Perotto.
Yeah. John Perotto, the Drew Wagner of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we spring for everybody. We're basically it's journalistic prostitution is what it comes down to.
You could just call that journalism.
Yeah.
You don't even know. I mean, we all know.
Well, the whole for-hire thing, right? Yeah.
Right, exactly. John Perotto coming up next here on Middays with Thunder. We'll talk a little Pittsburgh Pirates. Maybe we'll ask him a Steelers question. Aaron Rodgers facing the Jets this weekend as well. He's Drew Wagner. He's Tommy Wirtz. My name's Mitch Nellis, a.k.a. Thunder. It's Middays with Thunder right here, 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan. We are live in the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Hey, everybody. I am Mitch Nellis, and this is Middays with Thunder here on 1250 AM 1057 FM, The Fan, free on the Odyssey app, AUDACY, AUDACY. And today I'm joined in studio by the one, the only, the effervescent Andrew, a.k.a. Drew Wagner.
Isn't that one of those things you take, like that they fizz?
Yeah, that's right. It's like one of those big discs, and you throw it in the water, and
Are you calling me
the Alka-Seltzer?
Oh, yeah, you calling me
Drew
Alka-Seltzer?
Wagner.
Effervescent Alka-Seltzer of the Midday Show, Drew Wagner.
That's me. I'm here to soothe your aching stomach.
Just bringing the fizz.
The human
Bringing the
Alka-Seltzer is a
human
crazy nickname.
That was a great Letterman bit. When he put the suit of Alka-Seltzer tabs on and they dipped him into the big tank of water.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
You never saw that?
I don't think so.
Oh my God, that's like the most classic,
That sounds
legendary
tremendous.
Letterman moment
I
ever.
would do that.
Yeah,
I would do that right now. You guys give me a tank of water
It's real.
and Alka-Seltzers, and I will wear that.
I'll report back.
Yes,
Yeah.
please do. This is Middays with Thunder here on The Fan, and joining us now on The Fan guest hotline powered by Gruber Law, Forbes.com, and Multimedia in Pittsburgh. John Parada joining us. John, thanks so much for jumping on.
Oh, thanks for having me. Good to talk with you guys.
Absolutely, and I know you know Drew very well.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah,
one of my favorite people.
Same here, John.
Same here.
It's,
John, I like you already.
Yeah, it's a shame we don't get to like cover more games together. It's also a shame that your talents are stuck covering a franchise that I can only assume, John, hates its fans. Like, what other possible explanation
At
is
least
there?
the owner does.
Well, I know the fans hate the owner. I can say that for sure. I haven't spoken to the owner. I've not had a chance to ask him a question since 2019, so I don't know what his thoughts are on the fans. But I will say this: the guy is embarrassment proof. People chant "sell the team." They wear shirts that say "sell the team." They fly a plane over the stadium on opening day saying "sell the team." People at the U.S. Open and Oakmont up the river from here in Pittsburgh were yelling "sell the team" after guys took shots. So it is, he's not well liked, but it doesn't seem to bother him.
Then that's incredible because we hear a lot of people in Milwaukee complain about Mark Attanasio. He's cheap. He doesn't spend money, this and that. He only hires from within. And we in the media, I mean, we get him a couple times a year, almost too much, to be quite honest, with the way he talks sometimes. What is the atmosphere like tonight? Like, the Brewers are coming in, they're opening a series where they need to get back on track. Teams are gunned up to play the top dog. What kind of atmosphere can fans watching tonight expect from PNC Park with a team that's just, let's face it, been flailing?
You know, the one positive thing is they have played pretty well the last couple of weeks. They took 2-3 in Boston over the weekend. They just swept the Dodgers here. The series ended last night. So they've actually played their best ball this season here in the last 2.5-3 weeks. They've won 12 out of 16. Now, I don't want to get too excited about games late in the season, but the attitude's better, and I really think since they fired Derek Shelton on May 8th and hired and promoted Don Kelly from bench coach, they've been a different team. They've played better baseball. The clubhouse atmosphere has been better. The hustle, the effort level has been better. So it's not quite as bad as it looks from the outside. But with that being said, I'm not saying everything's great here either. They're still in last place, and I don't see any real path without them spending some serious money to get much further out of last place next year.
Yeah, you actually touched on my next question for you. I covered the roadside when Pittsburgh came to town last and got my first chance to talk to Don Kelly. And it really seems like there was a little bit more pep in the step from those guys, a little bit more, I hate to say it, maybe hunger, maybe fire, maybe passion. He seems to have really had a positive impact.
Well, Donnie is a great people person, and the players all like him and respect him. He had over 6 years of Major League service time. wasn't the most talented guy, mainly with Detroit. Was a utility guy willing to play any position. And he just has a general likeness about him. He's a very good guy. He's a good baseball guy. And I think he just relates to the players maybe a little better than Derek Shelton. He's a little more authentic, and I think the players know that also where they stand. I mean, not that Donnie's like a autocratic manager, but he will tell guys when they need to be told to pick it up, or here's why I'm putting you on the bench, and I think the players respect that for him.
Speaking of the players, tonight's starter, Johan Vito. He's been around a couple of years, had a pretty rough year last year, short body of work, but looks like maybe he's latched onto something. What do you know about tonight's starter?
Yeah, he had Tommy John surgery last year, so he pretty much lost the whole season. He's come back. His first start back, he didn't make it out of the first inning, but his next two, or I guess it's 3 starts now he's made since then. He's been pretty good. And I mean, he is a guy who the Cardinals signed. He defected from Cuba. The Cardinals signed him as a young pitcher. I believe he was 19 when they signed him, sent him to short season ball. And he never panned out in St. Louis. The Pirates got him in a trade in 2022. And I tell you, he's shown flashes. And I thought the second half of the 23 season that he really started to put some things together. And then he blew his elbow out, and that set him back. But he has a chance to be part of this rotation for the next few years.
Nice. And John Prado joining us here on Middays with Thunder on The Fan in Milwaukee. I think, Drew asked about tonight's starter, and I think fans, whenever, I'm guessing this isn't just Brewers fans, but fans all over the country, when they know they're facing the Pirates, the first thing they do is go and check, is Paul Skeens pitching? And we know the Brewers are missing Skeens this weekend. Although I'm not exactly sure the Brewers are missing him, it seems like the Brewers have been a little bit of his kryptonite. How good is this kid, and how fun is it to watch him pitch?
Well, he's really good. I mean, you look at the Dodger lineup. He pitched last night, mowed him down, 6 innings, no runs, 2 hits, 8 strikeouts, only 1 walk. He's really, really good. The Brewers have hit him a little bit, the Cardinals, and it does seem like the teams that see him a little more often are a little more comfortable with him, the NL Central teams. But on the whole, I mean, this guy, he's very talented. He throws 6 or 7 different pitches for strikes. He's an extremely intelligent guy. He really knows how to pitch, even though he has great stuff. For someone that's only 23 years old, he has a really good feel for pitching and how to mix his pitches and how to set hitters up. And he's got a chance to be, and I don't want to get too carried away after just 2 seasons, but if he stays healthy, which is always a big if, I mean, you're looking at a guy who's going to be one of the premier pitchers in the major leagues for many years to come.
No doubt about it. And, it's interesting you mentioned that he struggled against some of those teams that have seen him more often, which, is the divisional teams, of course. But it's just like, you see how is he doing? Like, how does he do, I guess, I don't know if I want to say with the mental stress of pitching for a team that you never know if they're going to even get you a run that night. How does he seem to be dealing with playing in Pittsburgh?
Well, he started off 4-8, and it wasn't his fault. I mean, his ERA was right around 2, so obviously he was pitching great, getting no run support. The Pirates still last in the big leagues in runs scored. I think it was getting to him a little. He said all the right things. He wanted to be a good teammate. He wasn't going to, criticize his teammates when he easily could have, and no one would have blamed him for criticizing them. But, it's turned for him. The Pirates have played better lately. That's reflected in his 1-loss record. He's won 6 of his last 7 decisions, and now he finally got over 500 this year. He's 10-9 now after beating the Dodgers last night. But I'm sure it's tough for a guy who on a good team would probably have 15 or 16 wins this year, be right up there with like Freddie Peralta is, at the top of the league in wins. And And but he handles it well. He's a really classy guy, and he's very, very mature for his age. It's kind of hard to believe he's only 23 years old when you talk to him. He carries himself like a guy much older.
John, Murph has mentioned this many times that the Pirates give the Brewers fits, and they have traditionally in the past, and it doesn't always show in the one-loss record. Like this year, Milwaukee's 7-3 against the Pirates, but the Pirates made things pretty difficult for them last year and in years past. What is it that makes that squad match up so well against Milwaukee?
That's a great question, and I thought about that too, and I really don't have a definitive answer for you. I think they get a little fired up because, a lot of teams, a lot of fans here in Pittsburgh compare the Pirates to the Brewers, and not in a good way. They're like, Milwaukee plays in the smallest market in the big leagues, and here they are going to the playoffs almost certainly here for the 7th time in 8 years. And we're in a little bit bigger market here in Pittsburgh, and we can't even have a winning season. They've had 4 winning seasons in the last 33 years. So I think the Pirates get tired of hearing about Brewers this and Brewers that from the fans. I think it gives them a little bit of extra motivation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I really do.
The last thing I have for you, Johnny, you kind of, again, set me up with it. That's because you're a pro's pro, one of the best in the game. We've talked about this on Twitter in the past. You wrote about it in the past. Jason Mackey's wrote about it in the past. I mean, we've got Matt Arnold here, and the Pirates had a chance to hire him and basically turned him down. Like, came in, presented a plan, and they shot him down. Do you think they're kicking themselves over that one?
I would think so. They say not. I will say this for Matt Arnold. I did have a conversation with him at it was off the record, so I won't get into details, but at the general managers meetings last year at the end of last season. And let's just say that he knows that it all worked out for the best. And I mean, it might have been the greatest thing that happened to Matt Arnold's career is for them to not hire him here.
Yeah, it's on. That sounds pretty spot on.
That does, unfortunately. John, I don't know if you're a Steelers fan at all. Are you ready for Steelers Jets? Are you ready for the Aaron Rodgers experience starting this weekend?
We have no choice. It's 24/7 Aaron Rodgers. So everybody's ready for it. I mean, it's going to be interesting. He has gotten nothing but rave reviews from the coaching staff and his teammates, and even the media have liked their dealings with him so far. He's been pretty good to deal with from talking to some of my friends that cover the Steelers, and we'll see. I really think this is going to be an interesting year in Pittsburgh. They've gone 9-8, 10-7 a lot here the last few years. But I really think either this year he's going to have a great year and they're going to go 14-3, or it's going to be a total dumpster fire and they're going to go 4-13. I think it's one or the other. I don't think this is going to be a 9-8 season.
Interesting. Yeah, I think we are watching from afar. We're not as into Aaron Rodgers as maybe we were 2 years ago when I
have double interest now in seeing the Steelers lose this weekend.
As a Bengals fan,
I always want the Steelers to lose, and as someone who had to deal with Aaron Rodgers, I enjoy watching him lose. But that's just me. Hey, John, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Check out John's work. Jay Parado on Twitter, writes for Pittsburgh Baseball Now, writes for Forbes, writes for the AP. Him and I have basically been plying this freelance scribe life for the last couple of years. His stuff is excellent. Read it and hire him.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Nice.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate you having me on. I enjoyed it.
You bet. This was a blast, and we will definitely call on you in the future when there's some Pittsburgh Pirates stuff going on with the Brewers. So thanks so much, John.
Sounds good. Oh, you're welcome. Talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Man, you could just tell that like the freelance guys are just the nicest guys on earth. Like he's just like a nice guy.
Yep. John's one of my favorite people. I love just talking to him. Yeah, I just love talking ball with him, talking shop with him. Yeah, everyone loves me.
You're the nicest guy.
I am kind and courteous and warm and quick to lend a helping hand. And when people are having a down day, I'm known to give them a hug, some words of encouragement.
Yeah. All the things. No Paul Skeens this weekend, which I actually think is a good thing.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
I
I know
think
he's
the
really
Brewers,
good, and I know the Brewers have hit. But right, I'm guessing they would say.
Yeah, they've had a stretch where that's the other thing about that long 18 and 19 or 19 and 18 is they faced some pretty good pitchers during that stretch too. I mean, that was not an easy schedule. We've heard so much about the tough schedule. They're facing some really good pitchers, adding in the fact that guys are tired and beat up. Like it was kind of, I don't want to say disaster, but there was a recipe for disaster, and I think they managed it well by finishing within a game of 500. Yeah, okay, fine. You lost the series. Like you want to win them all. You want to win every night. You want to win every series. Great. But it's not possible.
Right.
And
that's right.
Sometimes you're just going to have to take your licks because there's something bigger going on. You never want to see a guy half butting it, but you understand he might not be as quick off the beat. He might not be able to run 100% down the line. Like you have to take some of that into account because again, these guys are looking to play into November. They legitimately expect, not believe, not think. I don't. These guys in that room absolutely believe they'll be playing in November. If you go back and listen to the post-game comments that I put out yesterday from Jose Quintana, who else did we talk to yesterday? Danny Jansen, even Murph. They all said we have much bigger things at stake. We are going to be doing
September 4th.
Right.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. When we come back, one of the things I love to do on Fridays is just go through the slate of the NFL games and pick the games against the spread and just see like how big of an idiot I am. Like that's one of my favorite things. That my self-deprecating self was like, "Hey Mitch, how dumb are you?" I'm all the dumb. So let's find out together next. 414-677-1250 is the phone number. If you have a pick this weekend, an NFL game that you are just absolutely convinced that you are right, or that you got it right, you're going to get it right, feel free to let us know. You can give us a call or you can shoot us a text. 414-677-1250. It's the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line. Shoot us a text with your guarantee of the week, if you will.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
As we predicted.
Did the email come out that we've been waiting for?
Yeah. Nick Mears placed on the 15-day IL with back tightness.
Yep.
Retroactive 9 second.
Yep.
Carlos Rodriguez up from AAA.
Carlos Rodriguez up. Okay. All right.
All right. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's right. Back tightness, retroactive to 9/2. So he'll be eligible to come off on the 17th or so.
Yeah.
17th, 18th. So we'll see if that's just the minimum number of days, or if that's something bigger that Nick Mears is going to have to deal with. Carlos Rodriguez recalled. He'll be available, I assume, tonight.
He'll be available tonight.
And probably will pitch. If we've learned anything from Murph, the day somebody gets called up, they're either batting leadoff or they're pitching first out of the pen.
Mm-hmm.
No,
he's not. He leaves guys in the cooler when they get called up.
Oh,
a lot
you
of
think
times.
so?
Look at how he's used Easton McGee every time he's called up. Fresh arm, able to give you multiple innings, and he sits for like 3 days.
Man, poor Easton.
We'll see if Yoho gets in there. This is Middays with Thunder, 12:50 a.m., 105.7 FM, The Fan. We're going to pick some NFL games next, so feel free to chime in on the Nicolay Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250 with your lock. Q says on the dugout in the YouTube channel, Mitch, there's something on your shirt. I was waiting for somebody to notice that. This is Middays with Thunder.
lightning and the thunder.
But after all these years, I'm still scared of thunder.
It's time for Middays with Thunder with Mitch Nellis, broadcasting live from the 1250 AM and 1057 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
When you hear the sound of thunder, don't you get too scared. Just grab your thunder buddy and say these magic words. Hey, Drew Wagner, good to have you here. It's another Friday, and let's get to the weekend. What's that?
You could have said get to the beer.
Oh, get to the beer. Good to have you here. Get to the beer.
Jeez.
You want to look behind you real quick? Looks like Dave is in a suit.
Dave is in a suit of Alka-Seltzer.
Oh, that's got to be
I can't
so
believe you've never
awesome.
seen this.
I don't think I have. Oh, that is awesome. I would do that. Like, what's the big deal? Is there like a big deal? Like,
They just wanted to see what would happen.
Right.
He
What do
did
you
the
think's
crap
gonna
all the
happen?
time.
You're dropping 1,000 Alka-Seltzers into water. Like, it's gonna all buzzle and foam.
Yep.
Bubble
Man,
fizzle.
Classic Letterman. Was there
Classic
anything
Dave.
better than classic Letterman?
Dave was great. Yeah, Dave was absolutely.
Like, don't get me wrong, I still watched it when he switched over to CBS, but like classic late night, 11:30 midnight Dave Letterman. You know, when the show is geared towards drunken stone college kids, like that was peak late night TV. The bits were great, the gags were great, the segments were great. Going out and like visiting the deli, all that stuff, going to the GE building with the fruit basket, like, man, we had it good for TV.
We did, but I would also say like SportsCenter.
Yeah.
Like late night. I mean, like Craig Kilborn and Brett Haber was. I mean, first obviously Dan Patrick and Keith Olbermann, but then like Craig Kilborn and Brett Haber was can't miss late. That was the late night drunk sports.
Yeah,
Center. You
Craig
couldn't miss it.
Kilborn's
Craig
show
Kilborn
was
was
great at
right.
night.
Yeah.
The Late Show, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a bunch of shows that, like, you know, Stump the Schwab. Remember how awesome that one was back
Remember
in
when
the day?
Dan Needles beat the Schwab?
Yeah, I remember that.
He did. He did get a Milwaukee question, so
Yeah.
that did help.
It counts.
But he was gonna beat him anyway.
It counts.
Did you know that? Did you know Dan Needles beat the Schwab?
No, have we had him on? We've had him on Mason Crosby, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, we've definitely heard that name. Like, I couldn't remember, but
he was the sports director of Channel 12 before Dario, and then he retired. And Dario got the job. But yeah, he stumped the Schwab, and he's the original Rain Man.
Yeah, R.I.P.
on the
Howie.
trivia contest.
Ooh,
Yes,
we may need to send a mental health professional to Pittsburgh to sit with Murph for the next.
Why? Now what's going on?
Think about his bullpen right now. Includes the likes of Carlos Rodriguez.
Yep. Yeah.
Eric Fetty.
Yeah.
Yoel
Fetty's
Panos.
still on the team.
Fetty Whip.
Craig Yoho.
What's the Fetty Whip?
Poor Murph.
It's 1.4,
He's-
1.5.
He's gonna be.
You know what?
Something. This
I
weekend.
mean-
No, I think he likes it. I think he likes the challenge. I think he's
Yeah.
like, this is fun for me.
I had a
Like, I'm
caller.
gonna put all the puzzle pieces together, and I'm gonna whoop everybody's butt.
I had a caller while we had Joe on, or John on.
Yeah.
Sorry. And he was clamoring for Danny Jansen to get off the team and bring back Eric Haas too.
He's not alone.
I mean,
they brought Danny Jansen in because he
this
had a
point-
little more pop than Eric, and he has shown no pop.
Yep.
And he's not even hitting the ball. I mean, yesterday he's like hitting these little dinkers
it's
in
not.
the infield.
It has not been good.
No.
That is not.
That one does not work.
And
No
this is why
homers,
I
right?
always tell
he came
people
in with
like
11. He still has 11.
you,
Can we not show him on the Powerball power board anymore on FanDuel Sports?
the whole
Like,
trade deadline thing? And people will say, well, it's Danny Jansen. It's not the same. I'm like, no, there's the same unpredictability.
Yeah.
With good players than with bad players.
Correct.
And the thing is, if a good player doesn't produce, can you think of anyone, Tommy?
Was it the guy who pitched for Philadelphia yesterday?
Well, that might have been one of them. I was thinking, like, you go out and you pick up, let's say, a big bat at the deadline, and he doesn't produce.
What was his last name?
Something Samson,
Suarez.
Suarez. Yeah, Suarez. Yeah.
Suarez.
Like, if you go out and
That's it.
yeah,
Penio.
if you go out and like pick up a big bat, all right, there's absolutely no guarantee that bat is going to produce the same way they did for the first, however, 4 months of the season. And the thing is, when you make smaller incremental deals that don't give up much, and you're not risking much to work on depth, you're not risking as much if that one doesn't pan out.
Isn't there pretty much, I mean, there is an argument that the best traded bat was just in that last series in Milwaukee. It's just, his name is Harrison Bader, right? I mean, he's got a case right now. Is anyone else?
Yeah.
Bader's hitting over 300, has 2 homers, and an 851 OPS with Philadelphia in his 28 games. Has anyone got better numbers than that that's been traded?
Former
Andrew
Whitefish Bay
Vaughn?
temporary resident Harrison Bader.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, he was a Lakeshore Chinook.
Yeah, well, and you know who you lived with? This
Did
is
he
the
live with
ongoing.
Counts?
Yeah, he lived with Counts.
Yeah.
It's the on-running joke in the press box because it always got brought up. But
yeah,
also Harrison Bader is such a pain in the what to watch play baseball.
He's just really good against the Brewers. It
Well, but
feels
he's
like
also
every time.
he's also just annoying to watch.
Should the Brewers have tried to get him at some point?
He does not fit. He does not fit.
No,
their
because he plays hard.
He watch him play defense. There's a reason that Murph called him Show Pony. He likes to put on a little show out there, and
he does.
That would be a significant number of checks in the check game.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would. This is Middays with Thunder, 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan, free on the Odyssey app. We're in the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. We love our friends over at the Sportsbook. We're going to get to some NFL picks in a minute here. But interesting as Drew, as you think about, Pat Murphy is there really are kind of two sides to him that exist at the same time. Like, he is your fun uncle very often. And he's like, you could tell that he like loves his guys. He always has his guys back. But then he's also got that curmudgeon part of him. That's like that older guy, like mentality of always fighting. And, and it's like, I feel like they conflict, but he has learned how to like morph them, that like, no matter what, his team's going to fight for him based on what he brings to the park every day.
He kind of reminds me in a way of Buzz Williams.
Interesting.
Not
okay.
Some goofy
Well,
homespun wisdom, chip on the shoulder, weird kind of background, likes to be funny, likes to be cute, likes to be self-deprecating. It just reminds me a lot of Buzz.
I felt like Buzz always did it, but Buzz always held people like at an arm's length.
Yeah, that too.
Where Murph kind of brings them in for like the half like shoulder hug, like the half hug, like that sort of thing.
Murph is one of a kind. I mean, there's no better way to say it. Murph is Murph. He's not like anybody else. No one else is like him, and I don't think anyone else ever will be. He's a strange, somewhat neurotic, interesting, well-meaning, well-intentioned, decent, genuine man.
All right, let's take a look at the NFL slate this weekend. I always enjoy doing this again, mostly because I get to make fun of myself. Because I think I'm really smart, and I think I like should get all the games right, and then I go like 4-9 every week, and I'm like,
so we just go through the list and we pick our winners.
Yeah, against the spread though. It's against the spread. It's not just.
I'm not an investor.
Oh, that's
we'll take you along the ride with us.
I spent my last $8 paying Sparky to stay on for the last hour.
Nice. I appreciate that. Chiefs at Chargers in Brazil tonight. The Chiefs are favored by 3. I think Kansas City wins this game, so I will take the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs flat out, straight up.
I know that Tommy's like putting his mortgage on the Chiefs just because he hates the Chargers so much.
No one cares more about the Chargers and hating the Chargers than me now, but
it is so true.
That's going to be my brand, it sounds like.
Yeah.
So I'm also going
to I respect hate.
Yeah, I just can't stand Justin Herbert. I just need to see something out of it from him. Like, he's just the guy that's just been shoved down your throat that he's good.
Best kind of hate, when it's completely irrational, illogical, and based on one person, thing, or experience that you hate the entire entity.
I just think that I want to see more of Justin Herbert. I would like him to prove me wrong. Until then, I will be a hater. That's kind of how I feel about the Badgers right now. Exact same way.
Yeah, that's
right
fair.
there with you, brother.
I think that's fair. Sunday we kick things off. Arizona's at New Orleans. I feel like there's going to be a few games. The first couple here are games that nobody cares about. Arizona's favored by 6.5. I kind of think New Orleans could go 0-17. So I'm taking Arizona minus the 6.5. I really like Arizona this year.
I'll take Arizona in the points too.
Yeah.
I like that.
You're giving the points?
Yeah, I like the 6.5 for Arizona.
Drew, you got a feel for that one?
For those who don't wager, I'm just gonna do all my picks straight up. We do all my picks straight up.
Okay, who's going to win that?
I'm gonna go with Arizona.
All right,
I'm gonna go with
all right,
Arizona.
all right.
Carolina is at Jacksonville in the battle of the expansion teams. Because in '96,
Expansion cats.
right? The expansion cats, Panthers, and Jaguars.
Expansion kitties.
Jaguars favored by 3.5. I'm going to take the Jaguars. I think the hype on the Panthers is ridiculous. I think the Jaguars won't be great this year, but they'll at least be competitive. I'm taking the Jags.
Yeah, let's go Jags together.
Carolina to cover. See that? I lied.
All right,
I lied.
nice.
You're
Nice.
such a liar. It's unbelievable.
I like it.
All right. Well, then we have the game of the week. The Bengals at the Browns. The
Ooh.
battle for OHIO.
Did you know that Hang On Sloopy is like some huge song in Ohio?
Yes, I live on Earth.
I didn't know that.
Wait, you covered the Big Ten as a reporter for how many years?
I never went there. I
know, but that's like the song they play at every Ohio State game ever.
Yeah, I've never been to an Ohio State game.
Right, but I haven't either. I know that.
I also don't care about the music being played during games unless it's good music.
Oh, I
so,
was about to say that's
Yeah.
not entirely
I don't.
true.
Okay, I don't care about the band at games.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay. All right. That's fair. That's fair.
I mean, it's not fair, but it's true.
I'm struggling with this one. Like,
I'm taking the Bengals minus 5.5.
I'm gonna pick Cincinnati to cover. But I don't think they win. I really they stink every year coming out.
Wait, you can't.
They
pick
do.
them
They
to
always
cover
go
and not
0
win.
and 2.
Oh, they're favored. I'm sorry.
Favored by 5.
Sorry, I thought they were okay.
No,
Yeah,
they're not the
I thought they were
underdog.
5.5 dogs.
To the Browns?
Dude, they stink. They come out of the gate every year and
You know
stink.
what?
The Browns wear poo.
I'm going with
That's their
Cleveland.
color.
I'm
I
rocking-
hate
Smoking
Cleveland.
Joe.
I
Smoking
hate
Joe
Cleveland.
Flacco.
I think Joe Burrow's going to come out and just throw bombs all day,
Yes, he
but
is.
his
So
defense can't stop anybody
Yeah,
until
they're so-
proven otherwise.
All right. All right. You convinced me. I'm Bengals. Sorry. I'm taking Bengals.
Nice.
Cover the points.
Raiders are at the Patriots. Patriots are favored by 2.5. This was one of the picks that I made on the Mason Crosby show. This was my personal pick. I love the Patriots in this one. I think the Raiders stink, and I think the Patriots are actually be decent this year.
I agree.
Hey, Mitch, nice sweatshirt. Oh, thanks.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Patriots.
All right.
All right. Wow. So
Pete Carroll could totally mess that whole thing up.
He could.
though. He could totally mess
Pete
that.
Carroll can mess anything up.
I don't love that
right.
I've picked 5 games and I've picked 5 favorites. I don't love that.
Yeah. In week 1, especially.
Dolphins at Colts.
Oh, God. What a terrible
Daniel
game.
Jones, right?
Yep.
Miami is +1. I'm going to take the Dolphins. I'm going
As the
+1
underdog?
as the underdog. Yeah, now I feel better about taking an underdog there. But no, you're picking the winner, and I think the Dolphins are better than the Colts. I don't think the Dolphins.
I don't know, man. The Dolphins are pretty dog, and Tyreek Hill's been like unquestionable for a long time.
Yeah,
it feels
I
like
thought he
here.
wasn't. I thought he wasn't playing.
Yeah, he could not play.
Okay.
He may not play.
I will say I'll take the Colts. I'll rock with Mr. Spark.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Colts.
All right. Giants at Commanders. Commanders favored by 6.
Ooh, I was gonna say it was gonna be larger than that. Yeah, I think I'm Washington. I'm gonna say Washington covers that too.
I'm also going to say Washington.
I'm going to go Giants.
All right.
Interesting.
We're going to stay in New York. The Steelers are at the Jets.
Okay.
Steelers at Jets. Steelers are favored by 2.5.
I want that number. I think that's too close. That's Jets. You got to take
taking the
Jets on
underdog,
that.
baby. Taking
Like
the Jets.
that number
The home
was.
dog.
I was kind of hoping for that number to be like 4.5 or 5, but that's like Vegas knows too much right there.
Loving the home
And
dog.
and one of these rookie head coaches is going to make some noise week 1, right?
You think it's
one
Aaron
of them,
Glenn?
I think Aaron Glenn could do it.
I think the Jets are going to just roll because I get the feeling they want to shove it up the quarterback's rear end.
Yeah.
I don't think he was very popular there last year.
Baker Mayfield, Tommy's favorite quarterback, not named.
Former Brewers third base coach Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I feel like you always see him on those. Like, is he actually a Brewers fan? Like, does he not?
He was working out with Christian Yelich after the MVP season.
Right.
They became really close friends. He came down to visit at spring training, went through camp for a day, and Council put him as third base coach during a Cactus League game.
Yeah, so
there is a picture of him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that
in uniform at third, waving. I think it's Yelich home.
what's the spread on this one?
Tampa at Atlanta. Tampa's favored by 2.
Tampa destroys that spread. Tampa's winning by a touchdown all day.
This is our first big argument. I'm taking I like Penix.
Yeah, you got some Atlanta fever right now.
I got some Penix envy.
I don't know
I got some
why.
Penix envy.
Was that a WNBA joke? No, that's Indiana. Never
Indiana
mind.
fever.
Yeah.
Atlanta
I am
dreams.
also going with Atlanta. I'm going with the Falcons.
Wow.
Just because of the typo on the screen a couple weeks ago.
Penix.
The Falcons.
Oh
my God.
The maestro. I loved it.
Wow.
I loved it. The gasp
Yeah.
before the reveal. Like when you realized what you were about to say, you got so excited. You gasped so big. And then the reveal was amazing.
This is our equivalent of Andrew Monasterio walking up and hitting the game-winning bomb against Cincinnati to keep the streak going.
This is Jackson Churio drawing a walk the first 2 weeks of the season. That's what it is right now. Like exactly
Amazing. That's
what
so
it
good.
was.
All right, we got the Niners at Seattle. The Niners at Seattle, and the Niners are favored by 2.
Ooh.
At Seattle. I'll take the Niners. -2. I'm not a Sam Darnold believer.
I'm gonna take the Hawks because I don't. Is McCaffrey gonna play, man? I don't even think he's gonna play.
I think he is.
I don't know. I'm nervous he's not gonna play.
Okay.
I'm going Seattle.
You're going Seattle as well.
I'm going Seattle.
Denver at home against Tennessee. How big does the number need to be there?
8.5. Let's guess.
I mean, it is 8.5.
Oh, nice.
Were you really guessing?
I swear to God, I did not see it.
Look that
I
up?
swear to God, I did not see it.
I don't know if I believe you.
I promise.
You promise?
I'm just standing over here.
100%?
Yeah.
Okay. 8.5.
That's a great line.
It's not big enough.
It's not.
Denver's going to win by 30. They're going to win 37-7.
Cam Ward's going to look that bad right away in week 1.
In Denver in the altitude against that defense? Yes, please.
All right.
Denver rolls at home.
Okay, sure.
Detroit at Green Bay. We're going in order, so I'm not even saving that for the last.
Drew is.
Well, you and I already made our picks.
Yeah, we picked Packers. You got to pick Packers week 1.
I'm definitely going Lions. They're just too good, and I think Parson makes the Packers better. But I'm not sold yet on loving that offense.
Okay. Houston. This is a pretty good game, interconference. Houston at the Rams. That's a pretty decent game. Rams are favored by 3.
I'll take the Texans.
I'll take the Texans.
Yeah,
I agree.
like that.
I don't believe in the
I'm
Rams.
kind of on my hater stuff with
I don't believe
the Rams.
in Stafford's back.
Yeah,
like I just think like one big hit and he's out, and unless I don't know who their backup is, but he's not as good as Stafford.
Drew,
Andy,
don't you dare! Don't you ever!
I just want to get your attention.
Rams.
All right. Ravens at Bills Sunday night. This is a monster game. I'm excited for this.
I am all on the Bills this year.
Are you?
I really am.
You and Tommy.
Yep.
I'm on the Ravens.
I think the Bills lose to my Bengals in the AFC Championship.
The Ravens are favored by a point in this game.
Yeah, I'll take the Ravens week 1 though.
Really?
I just think what Lamar Jackson in the regular season is insane. So I mean, once it's the playoffs, I'd probably pick the Bills. But 1 point game, Lamar Jackson.
I'm taking the Bills. I think the Bills win at home. And you're on the Bills?
I am.
True.
I'm hard on the Bills this year.
And Monday night, it's the other NFC North matchup. It is the Vikings at the Bears.
Yes.
The Vikings favored by a point here. And Tommy, I believe you and I both are on the record taking the Bears already. Is that correct?
Yeah, I just think that I believe in a game where you have a rookie head coach versus a rookie quarterback.
First
I
time
favor the head coach. I favor the head coach in that game.
I'm going Bears. I think Caleb is going to have a breakout game. I know everyone hates him because he's a Bear and whatever, but I think the dude is going to put it together this year, and I think it's going to start Monday night.
414-677-1250 is the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. If you have a guarantee this week, you want to get it in, feel free to give us a call, 414-677-1250, or you can just text it in to that Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250. Reminder, Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, will be at Rally House at the Mayfair Collection at 2 o'clock today from 2 to 5. So he will be out there. He'll stick around till 5, right? He's done at 4:30, but he'll stick around to 5.
Yep, he'll be on the leadoff show the first half hour.
Nice. Okay.
Rally House, by the way, not a bar.
No.
bar.
It's a sports, like it's where you get your sports gear.
Yeah, I learned something today. I thought dogs laid eggs, and I learned something today.
I'm gonna look at some Brewers sweatshirts. I'm gonna see what the deal is with. I don't know what they have there because I've never been there before, but I'm excited to check it out.
You might as well just go right there.
That's what I'm
sit
gonna
in
do.
with Sparky.
Yep.
And then hang out through the leadoff show and set the single day record.
So I'm not doing any of that.
Okay.
Because I do need to pick somebody up at school at 3:35.
Okay.
But before that, I will do that.
Okay.
He's Drew Wagner. He's Tommy Wirtz. Little Packers Lions talk coming up next before we wrap things up for the week. My name is Mitch Nelson, aka Thunder. It's Middays with Thunder here on the Fan. I'm feeling a little peculiar. Hey! This is Middays with
Not
Thunder.
falling for it again.
I sing. I like singing. I'll sing with no music. What's going on?
What do they sing?
Hey, yeah. Hey, yeah.
Oh my God, Sparky's
I said,
gonna be so mad.
What's going on? This is Middays with Thunder, the final half hour of the week. I look to my right. That's where our window is. And I see the weekend on the horizon. It's coming any minute now. And I cannot wait. It is 60 degrees and mostly cloudy here in Hales Corners. High of 61 today, low of 45. That's a little chilly. Small craft advisory until 10 o'clock tonight. So if you're driving your small craft out there, just be advised. Just be advised. There, did I do my due diligence?
Yeah.
So did I give the advisory correctly?
You gave the advisory correct.
Excellent. One of the games we talked about when we made our picks just now, Packers and Lions. Packers 2-point favorites. And appropriately so, we have talked Micah Parsons for a week straight, right? We've talked about Micah, everything's been about
I hear
Micah
he's
Parsons.
good. I hear he's good.
There's somebody else who's going to be on the field Sunday, however, who is also good, who played very little last year, who was hurt for much of last year. Aiden Hutchinson is on the other side of that ball.
I thought you were going to say Matt Orzik.
No. I mean, Matt Orzik is great, and we're excited that he got the extension. We're excited that the punter and the kicker and the snapper all got their that you took care of the teamers. Mason Crosby's very excited about that. But no, Aiden Hutchinson's back for the Lions, and yes, we know the Lions got destroyed by Washington in the playoffs last year after a fantastic regular season. They did much of that with a truly banged up defense, and with Aiden Hutchinson not there. And Aiden Hutchinson, like Micah Parsons, tilts the field. And as much as we want to talk about how great Micah Parsons is, Aiden Hutchinson's him. Like, he is also legit on that field on Sunday.
And that's been my legitimate question. Again, I'm putting my Packer trolling aside for the next 30 minutes.
Okay.
The question that I've had since this Parsons thing was, obviously, no doubt, he makes that defense better.
Mm-hmm.
Was that defensive unit really a Micah Parsons away from being even effective, consistent, dominant?
Which way do you want? I can answer it both ways.
Anyway.
So I would say yes. Yes, it was a Micah Parsons way, because all of a sudden, Rashawn Gary and LVN, who have been underachievers for a long time, all of a sudden will be achievers. I don't know if they'll be overachievers, but they should be able to achieve the expectations that the team and they have for themselves and fans have for them, because Micah Parsons draws so much attention. And the secondary, which is not a great secondary, should get better immediately. And Micah Parsons talked about that this week, that he's never played with a cornerback who has not made the Pro Bowl. And he said he's going to make these cornerbacks and these safeties a lot of money, because quarterbacks are going to have way less time to throw, and they're going to be under way more pressure. So they're going to be able to make those plays. And a guy like Edgerrin Cooper and even Quay Walker are going to be able to explode on the scene this year, because they're playing next to a guy like Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
That is the yes.
And I think that you brought up a great name with Cooper there too, is with his expectations with the fan base and probably with the Green Bay Packers this year as well, elevating everyone around him. And what was the line you just used? Achievers? Like Quay Walker should be an achiever now in
not
his
an
role
underachiever, yes.
versus what maybe not an overachiever, right? I feel like one of the other names that was sneaky talked about a good amount was Tyron Hopper, right?
Mm-hmm.
Another guy that everyone's looking at in camp and preseason, thinking that his role could be more impactful this year as well for Green Bay. I really think that Micah Parsons does make a difference by him having the biggest workload and the highest expectations on that defense is a benefit to everyone else on that defense, because no one knew who had the highest expectations really before Micah Parsons got here.
Yeah, that's fair. That makes sense.
Now here's the flip. The flip is no, they were not Micah Parsons away. They were a dominant cornerback away. If they were going to make a move like this, because the defensive line was already good. The defensive ends weren't as good as we want them to be, but they were okay. The linebackers were already good. The safeties were already good, but the cornerbacks, we just don't know. Keyshawn Nixon's never been a number one before. Nate Hobbs coming over has never played a full season, averages 12, 13 games a year. Might be really good, but might be just okay. They had a dominant cornerback instead of Micah Parsons, and all of a sudden, again, that concept of adding your best player and then going down from there, that also creates that makes everybody else's job easier, and that this team is still short in the secondary, and this team is still short with the cornerbacks room, even with Micah Parsons in the room, until Micah Parsons does not make the difference that we want him to.
Even if, would you rather be the Packers trade this offseason or the Steelers-Dolphins trade this offseason, right? You remember that trade where it was,
Minka,
Jalen Ramsey goes
yeah.
to the Pittsburgh Steelers, and it's like, what'd they give up? Minka Fitzpatrick? Like, I think the Dolphins win that trade. I don't, Jalen Ramsey is a solid corner now. He's not at the same level he
not
was
dominant
at.
like he used to be.
Not
right?
like he was.
We all agree.
And maybe Minka Fitzpatrick has lost a step too. But could you imagine if the Packers make the trade for Jalen Ramsey and they give up like Evan Williams for that? Like, no one wants to see that deal happen.
I agree.
Now, is Hobbs expected to play Sunday? Because he was battling a knee, right?
He is limited in practice, so we just don't know.
Yeah,
honestly,
everyone's limited,
right? His last practice was July 31st until Wednesday. He did not practice on Tuesday he did not practice on Wednesday. He practiced on Thursday.
Right.
Limited. He's out there today. Will he play? Will he play full time? Will he rotate? It's one of the reasons why that Valentine question actually happened.
Yeah.
Is because he's going to be, if not starting for Hobbs, he's going to be playing a bunch in place of Hobbs. And again, the Packers are going to be relying a lot on Parsons, Gary, and LVN to get pressure on Jared Goff, because otherwise those quarterbacks could get picked apart on Sunday.
I think if Nate Hobbs is who the Packers want Nate Hobbs to be, they're going to be a top 3 defense in the league.
Yeah, he's not going to be that this week, right? Even if he plays, I don't think any of us think he's going to be peak Nate Hobbs.
I just can't imagine he's the guy guarding Jameson Williams, and that's who really concerns me more in this game. Even though Amon-Ra has torched them in the past, I think I like the matchup.
He'll torch them on Sunday. He'll get his.
I mean, if Amon-Ra gets 120 yards, Packers are going to lose.
What if he gets 80? What if he gets 80?
80 they can probably manage.
What if they both get 80 and Laporta gets 50?
I mean, that's a lot of yards going.
That's 210 yards right there.
Yeah, and
those 3 guys are easily capable.
You already know Gibbs is probably going to get his 40 yards on through the air as well, and I mean, it's adding up quickly.
It's not an easy matchup. I mean, those guys are really good.
Yeah, I just think that also week 1 NFL is a little different, and if Jared Goff is passing for 250 yards, that's
probably a bad sign.
Probably not a good sign. Yeah.
Well, and I know Mason thinks this game could go under, and this game could be like an opening week. But I think this could easily be a 34-31 type of game.
I'm scared that we're going to go week 1 and the under is going to hit for this game, and everyone's going to have problems with the offense. Now, after the defense just made a huge move and shored themselves up. Right. Well, regardless, I think we're going to look
win 17-14. I don't think anybody's going to complain about the offense.
Sure. Oh, I disagree.
You're right. Here's but not to the extent you think.
Yeah.
Because a win's a win.
True.
This is my question. You kind of mentioned, and I'm shifting sides of the ball, if that's okay.
Yeah, go for it.
What do you need to see from Jordan Love this year to be convinced that he is the guy? Or are you already convinced, and where do you want to see him improve?
I will say that I am pretty much in the boat and convinced that he is the guy. I don't know if the guy necessarily means Super Bowl, but do you think Baltimore believes that Lamar Jackson is the guy?
Yes.
They do. Does Josh Allen the guy? Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe that Jordan Love isn't putting up the MVP numbers that he is, but he's the guy, the guy right now. What are they going to do? You can't be rocking in with Jordan Love this year with the team you have and not be convinced he's the guy, because he will be the guy all year. And what he needs to do is limit his mistakes, right? That's it. I don't even think you need Jordan Love to have 30 touchdown passes this year. You need Jordan Love to have 9 or less interceptions. You need Jordan Love to not fumble the ball, right? You're not expecting Jordan Love to go win the MVP this year. If you are, I think that the Packers are going to be a problem if Jordan Love is an MVP this year, obviously. But Jordan Love, he gets paid like the guy, and he's going to be the guy this year. That's what it is. And he's going to be the guy the year after that, and probably the year after that.
But you're saying he's the guy. Does that mean he's the guy to take them to a Super Bowl, or just that he's in charge of running this team.
Do you know 31 teams at the end of the year will lose their last game of the season?
Yes.
31
Well, that's
teams.
not true. There are a lot of teams that'll win but don't make the playoffs.
31 teams will not get to win.
Will not win the
All right,
Super Bowl.
let me put it this way then. If you had the power, money no object, would you sign him to a 5-year extension today?
Oh, yeah, I'd give him more time. Yeah. I like what he does, man. I do.
Would you give him one of the top NFL quarterbacks
He's
type
just
contracts?
not. Yeah, you cannot compare Jordan Love to Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. That's so.
And I'm not.
selfish
I'm comparing it to the other like big quarterbacks. Your Burrows, your Allens.
He's not a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. He is a
Correct.
top 10 quarterback in the NFL.
All right, that's fair.
Yes.
That's fair.
He's not even close to top 5, but he is absolutely back end of top 10.
Because top 5 has separated themselves,
Right.
Right.
Yeah, it's a
Before
whole
AFC
different tier.
and Jalen.
Do you think he
They're
could be one
separate.
of those guys? Do you think he can get to that level?
I think he can be better than Jalen Hurts as far as talent of throwing the football. I don't we were just talking about, though, that Jalen Hurts has to be the number 5 quarterback in the NFL by default because he is the best fit maybe on his team of any quarterback in the NFL.
I'll agree with you there.
So I will say that Jordan Love has potential to get to 5. I don't think he has potential to get to top 4, and he'll be stuck at
unless one of them comes.
Okay,
Like it would be more of a failing of those top 4.
correct.
If Jordan Love got
And
up there, then
even from a potential standpoint, no, I don't think Jordan Love can be any of those top 4 guys. I don't think if Jordan Love plays his absolute best, torches everyone, and he's looking awesome, I don't think he ever passes Mahomes, Burrow, Jackson, or Allen.
Q writes into the show on the YouTube channel. Remember, we are live on YouTube at The Fan Milwaukee. Log in, subscribe, like, pound that button, whatever it is you do. I will 100% complain about the offense in a 17-14 win. All right, so I think that you're right. There will be people who complain. This offense needs to perform. Thank you, says Tommy just lost credibility from a cap space perspective. Signing Love to an extension today would be insane. But the entire premise of the question was with money as no object.
Right.
I
mean, obviously,
no one's talking about signing Love to an extension or doing anything.
I
with
think
the
the
salary
question
cap.
should be are you comfortable with Jordan Love being the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers for the next 7 years? And I am
maybe that's a better way.
And I am absolutely comfortable with that. Yes, totally cool. Does not bother me. I know the team will be competitive every year. In who's to say that Jordan Love can't find that lightning in a bottle like Aaron Rodgers found in the playoffs, right? Because you cannot say Aaron won 1 Super Bowl. He went to 1 Super Bowl. And Brett Favre won 1 Super Bowl. He went to 2 Super Bowls. They played Hall of Fame careers for 15 plus years in the organization, and they went to 1 Super Bowl. And I'm not saying that Jordan Love deserves more money and he needs the most money possible.
That's not part of this conversation.
Strictly, it is Jordan Love should be the guy. And I have no one else in my mirror where I'm like, oh, I wish the Packers could have him. That's outside of the top 4 guys in the league.
Tommy, you feeling Uzi?
What is it?
You feeling Uzi or you feeling juicy? Because you can stream your local NFL game all season long, kicking off with the juicy Week 1 matchup between Detroit and Green Bay, starting at just $30 for your first year. That's only like $2.50 a month. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
Can I say one more point?
Uzi would be Jay and Jimmy. That would be Uzi. I know, but you got to feel Uzi.
I have one more point, and just to go after this with Q here, because Q is also like, oh, I'm comfortable with giving him 20, not
that's
54.
Not part of the conversation.
I understand.
That's not the conversation.
But I would also like to
do with
say,
it.
I would also like to say, the top 10 highest paid QBs in the league,
right? Or half of them stink.
None of them have a Super Bowl
right.
win.
You're not taking Trevor Lawrence. Nobody's taking Dak Prescott. Right.
Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Jordan Love, Trevor Lawrence, Tua, Jared Goff, Brock Purdy, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
All the top 10, and I just had to do that
and
now.
You're so excited that Herbert's
the top
on that list.
10 quarterbacks in the NFL.
Not part of the conversation.
It does not matter.
Right.
You are putting your future on the line for the guy with the money situation.
Don't let Q listening determine the conversation, Tommy.
I just want Q to be informed too. The 11th, you go to Jalen Hurts.
Well, then he's not right, but then he's not listening. That's on him. That's not on you. He's Tommy Wirtz. Drew Wagner's here as well. We'll be back to wrap things up. My name is Mitch Ellis. It's Middays with Thunder, 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan, free on the Odyssey app. Oh, what? Ha, ha. Body's looking forward to the weekend, Friday, getting down on Friday.
You know what totally horrifies me? What totally horrifies me about this experience
Is how
isn't your
awesome the
dancing,
song is.
isn't your singing, isn't the song, but that I heard the first three notes and I immediately knew it was Rebecca Black.
Yeah.
You know, this is Phil in the Mill just sent us a very nice compliment.
All right, what do we got?
Complimenting the show.
It's Middays with Thunder and Drew Wagner.
Hey
and
guys, loving the
Tommy.
show today. I think Drew should be in the studio more often. Great job. Now I'm concerned that he's been drinking a little too much this early.
Phil or you?
Phil.
Okay.
But now I'm concerned that he's going to hear you singing Rebecca Black.
No, and he's all in. Now he's all in.
If you're okay, Phil in the Mill.
I mean, you were first of all, like, if you know Thunder and you want to be like, yo, Thunder, this show's awesome. You know Rebecca Black is coming today at some point. You already knew that was coming. So that's not going to off.
And Q says, I appreciate you singing it. Would not have known what was happening on YouTube. Q, I'm here for you, man.
Wow.
Let's go. Drew, what was the new nickname you gave Tommy earlier today?
The Maestro.
The Maestro,
He puts all this stuff together. He puts the morning show together, puts Middays with Thunder, puts the leadoff show, deals with us idiots.
He works just like a couple hours every day.
Yeah.
Just no big deal, right?
Well, when you're making six figures radio money.
Oh, yeah, dude. I mean, that's why you guys call me boss when this is all off.
That's right. That's why you're the Maestro.
I like that. I like that. This is like a Quincy Jones, right?
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
the
if you were cool like Quincy Jones, that'd be amazing.
It's the only Maestro
I'm here
I can
for
name.
So this is the in case you missed it as we're wrapping up.
I see why am I?
Yeah. Have you guys seen that documentary of the 82 Brewers yet? Just a bit outside.
Just a bit outside. Oh yeah.
So I don't know if you saw this yesterday. It's been airing on the Roku channel, so you can watch it for free for streaming. And if you haven't seen it yet, it's going to be airing Wednesday night, September 10th, 6:30 p.m. on WMLW, channel 49. And I can't hear that station without thinking that stupid Pat McCurdy commercial. WMLW means Milwaukee. Bum.
Yep.
Dude, are you hating on Whitefish Bay's own Pat McCurdy?
Very much so.
Prior to the Packers game this weekend, the weekend will be highlighted by a free concert featuring American rock band The Black Crowes.
Is that
beginning at 5 p.m. outside Lambeau Field in the stadium's northwest side on Saturday night?
Oh, they're playing Saturday night?
Yeah, they're playing Saturday night to start to kick things off. The Black Crowes.
The game is on Sunday, though.
Yeah.
Okay, I was confused. I was looking at this on the rundown.
Weekend of festivities.
I like the Black Crowes.
Right. So are you going to go up there?
Are you driving?
No.
You buying the beer?
I mean, I'll Venmo you a few dollars so you can buy a beer. I'm not going.
Oh, well. It wouldn't be as fun without you. Tommy, road trip?
To Green Bay?
No, I don't think I'm allowed in Brown County.
I'm working too.
That sounds
so.
right.
Yeah.
Chiefs and Chargers tonight. NFL football. We all remember what happened to Jordan Love last year in Sao Paulo. Hopefully everybody comes out of this one unscathed. We'll see if Mr. Taylor Swift, how he's looking in his first game since his engagement. It's not you. It's not Jackson Olsen either, who thinks it is on TikTok.
What if Travis Kelce changed his last name?
Yeah.
That would be
Travis Swift.
That would be
awesome.
I'm just waiting for the day, and I thought I was going to see it because she went to the season opener in Kansas City between my beloved Bearcats and stupid Nebraska.
That's right. They played in.
I'm just waiting for the day where I see her wearing like the Seapaw hat, and it'll just make me an even bigger.
Why is she not wearing the Seapaw hat? Is she in Brazil?
Oh yeah.
You think so?
Right. Private jet, just flying wherever, right?
Yeah, why not?
What are you guys wearing to the wedding? Oh, you weren't invited? Oh, sorry.
Relax. Relax. Slow your roll, bro. Slow your roll. Take a deep breath. Acknowledge who you are. You're not invited either. All right.
Yeah, that's right. You're not supposed to have exes at your wedding.
Are they going to show it on closed cat? Like pay-per-view doesn't really exist anymore, but if they pay-per-view that, they make $100 million.
Oh my God.
Pay-per-view.
Nuts. That is the craziest idea ever that could actually happen.
Right. That would be unbelievable.
And yet at the same time, it wouldn't be.
They would fund every charity for the rest of all time.
What if they could fund the NIL program at the University of Cincinnati?
What if
no one cares, bro?
What if the Super Bowl halftime show is their wedding?
Oh my gosh.
I like that the man who is obsessed with Boston sports, and I've never had a conversation in the 25 years that doesn't involve Boston sports, is aghast at the fact that someone could root for teams in another market.
Well,
we gotta wrap up, otherwise Sparky's going to be like Taylor Swift's really taken away from this.
Brewers. I want 2 out of 3.
Yeah, 2 out of 3. I think that's absolutely realistic. I think that's absolutely expectation.
Okay.
That should be the expectation.
Packers, I want 1 out of 1.
Ooh, nicely done.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't want to win 3 quarters and then lose the game, right?
Correct.
Like that doesn't do anything for you. You got to win the game. He's Tommy Wirtz. He's Drew Wagner. My name's Mitch Nellis, aka Thunder. Middays with Thunder here in the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Everybody get to Rally House at the Mayfair Collection. Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, is next. AJ Lee tonight. If you know, you know.